Good morning, beautiful people. It is Monday, the 10th of August. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you wonderful people that make up this glorious culture. And of course, like we are every blessed morning, we're hosted by the very best. Brent, you in the building?
Good morning, family. How are you all? How was your weekends? I hope you all are blessed and highly favored.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they are.
I'm sure they are.
This is it. This is it. Brent, how you doing, man?
All right, man. It was a long weekend,
Yes.
eventful as always. Every single time I look to step out,
Mm.
something eventful. That's it. Eventful normally happens.
Okay.
We just start this morning by giving a shout out to two beautiful black women I met.
Pick them up. Pick them up.
And I wrote their names down just in case I forgot. Just in case I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that?
No, my phone.
What's that noise though?
That was a clip. Background for a clip.
Oh, so your phone just goes off.
No, because I then put the screen on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's the last thing that was open. Mm.
I know one of them was Florence.
Big up.
That's what happens when it is I use
iPhone.
my notes.
It's
And I haven't even sorted my notes out properly. All right.
terrible.
So Beatrice and Florence.
Big up Beatrice and Florence.
Shout out you wonderful, wonderful women. I went to Uncut Podcast's live show
Come
on
on.
Sunday,
Sit.
and I got caught like a rat on the highway.
mm.
Mm. Um, for those who listen to, subscribe to, support the Receipts podcast, obviously everybody knows that they are my faves, my babes, and that. If you hear anything in the coming weeks from Tully's mouth, yeah,
Yeah.
weigh it up. Yeah, weigh it up.
mm.
I'm not even going to give you. In fact, I will.
Yes.
Because I have a platform
Come on.
and I'm allowed to do stuff on my platform.
You have to tell your story.
I have to tell my story.
See what I'm saying? Otherwise, they'll tell it for you.
They Tully will tell it for me.
You know what I'm saying? Big up
Tully
Arday.
will tell it for me. All day, all day. So, I was chilling upstairs, and whenever I go to these events, I just say hello to those people I know, and I just choose a spot and just stay there, right?
Mhm.
And there were plenty of people that like I knew. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Now, as I'm chilling there, leaning on the balcony, overlooking the main hall,
Mhm.
I turn around because I'm hearing a little rustling behind me. So I've turned around and I've seen Audrey taking a picture of the main hall, right?
Okay.
She's looking stunning. And then I was like, wait. She turns, like just her face just to the left.
Mm.
And she looked at me like this,
Mm.
trying to place me. Now, you know when you're not supposed to see somebody in a place they're not supposed to be in?
Yeah.
Your brain does not place them. It doesn't acknowledge them. It doesn't. Wait a minute.
Mm.
So for 2 seconds, she's looking at me.
yeah.
And then she's like, what?
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
so, so I've looked past it. And Tolly is on the top of the stairs.
Mm.
Right? And I was like, hello. And then Tolly screams of excitement, mind you. Oh my gosh, Brent. And then within a second, that excitement drops to anger.
Oh my goodness.
She's like, and you know, she swears as well, isn't it? Like, F off.
Damn.
She said F off. What the F? So obviously, what it looks like is, in her mind, I've never attended one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never attended one of the events. And here I am, in my black jeans, black shoes, black t-shirts,
Come on.
and black denim, right, jacket. And obviously, I've taken off my sideburns and stuff in it, so it looks like I've got a haircut.
Put the effort in, everything. It didn't just show up. You want to show how to.
So, she's still like flapping like a penguin because she's happy to see me, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she's hugging me. She's like, oh my gosh, Fred, you're outside, you're outside. Tolly, she's effing and blinded. Effing and blinded. So I'm impressed by how quickly her anger, morning, how quickly her anger, like, had matured and then saturated.
Yeah.
So I can't just stay there. I've gone up the stairs to hug her. She said, don't touch me. Don't touch me. And then it became evident as to why it is that she was so vexed. She articulated it to me. So I was like, look, I could lean into the whole fanfare of this, the whole pop and splendor, the whole charade, because I'm here for excitement too. I'm here for entertainment too. And I can see where it's going. I could Brentify this. Or I could basically explain why this shouldn't be seen the way you've obviously seen it. Right? Because I have an explanation. I have a justification. And I'll probably be repeating this when it is that she brings this up. Right? She's actually going to hold on to this for 2 weeks.
Damn.
Means nothing to me. Right? But she's going to basically make a song and dance about it. Right? She's going to use it as content. And she's going to have a lot of her family, support her. But, like I said, this isn't going to get as much reach as hers. But by golly, I'm going to say my truth. Right? All right, so I've been to one of the events before. I've actually been to one of the events.
Is it the receipts here?
The receipts.
Yeah, cool.
Right? And more fool me. Right? More fool me. They've had events before the one I actually attended. And the one I attended, they was like, Brent, can you come to one of our events, please? I said, I'm not an event fella. Please, can you come to one of our events? I said, cool. It's the wrong house one, right? One in the wrong house. I said, cool. So I'll be there, right? And I said, yeah. Wonderful. We put you on the guest list. Just come and you say your name and blah, blah, blah. So I said, cool. Lovely. So obviously I'm a punctual whatever, right? So I've gotten there and I've kind of staked out the place. Sometimes when I go to places and it's unfamiliar to me and it's nice looking, then I'll look around a bit, right? So I reached mad early, nobody was there, so I walked around a bit. And then I've now come back when it is people being in, and I've gone to the front desk. And I've said, there's supposed to be an event today. You understand? And apparently I was told I was the guest list.
You was told what?
I was the guest list.
Yeah.
Supposed to say, oh, it's okay, this is normal. What's your name? So I tell my name, Brent Coolthrust. My name is Brent Coolthrust. Brent Coolthrust. I say that 3 times because somebody that I thought knew my last name didn't pronounce my last name on a radio show on Friday.
Damn.
Cool Hust.
Imagine.
Fa.
Took out the T as well.
Cool Hust.
Oh, man.
Big radio, you know. Big radio. Shout you out, innit? Cool Thrust. So anyway, the young lady, matter of fact, she was stood next to somebody else. So there was no idiots, right? Then there were other people behind me, right? I looked around, a few known faces, obviously, because they're on the guest list. Right? So I say hello to one of them. And turn back around. The computer says no. It's not here. So I said, please check again. BRENT. Computer says no. So I'm standing there, obviously, in people's way, right? The people who are on the guest list. So I've stepped aside. I've taken out my phone. And I've called, the producer. So I'm out here looking like an idiot, giving my name. Nobody knows my name because it's not on the paper. Am I supposed to get in? I don't know.
They're just panicking. Oh, the person on the phone, yeah.
Wasn't I called? I don't know. I'll see what I can do. You're just gonna put the phone down and do nothing because the girls didn't want to be bothered, I'm guessing. So anyway, I'm like, don't worry about that. I'm gonna basically just make my way back home. Back home. It's fine. And the person that I saw and said hello to behind me, I won't mention the name. She was like, "What? Can't you get in?" I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "How come? You're such such." I don't know. I don't know. But it's alright. I'm going home, innit? She's like, "No." And then she turned around to the person and said, "This person is such and such." But hello.
Hello.
I didn't know you were going to be in today. So, the person then told the person, yeah, you're supposed to be in. So, after a couple seconds of deliberation, because this person was quite a person, they allowed me in. You know, crazy that is. Our face card, our face card could basically make a transaction in that particular manner. Because I ain't supposed to be in there. I ain't got no ticket. I ain't got no guest list. So anyway, obviously she's like, "Yeah, come with me." I said, "No, there's no chair for me where you're going. There's no seat allocated for me." So I'll find myself in the third gen pop chair. I sat between two fluffy women.
Pick them up.
Yeah, picked them up. They knew me. Imagine. My face card was working then. So I'm there thinking, look, should I tell Tolly? I've been to one of your events before. But never again because look at how you're treating me. I said, or should I just lean into the entertainment? I just leaned into entertainment. I said, on the way here, I was thinking, hey, if I saw Tolly and Audrey, what would I say if they caught me? Yeah, so apparently that made it worse. Yeah, it made it worse.
It's a damn shame, bro.
Damn shame. But shout out Beatrice and Florence.
Pick them up.
Pick them up. I think Florence said that I say smart things. Imagine. Who'd have thought? But shout out the babes. And I think the next one I have to attend is Baba Boobs and Bands. Sorry. Florence and Beatrice are two wonderful ladies that watch TDA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't type in the chat, but they listen every day. And then they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be here on Monday." No, that's how it was raised. Oh, so you're not gonna be in on Monday? I said, yeah, we have to speak about Arday. So that's it. Shout y'all out, yeah. Shout y'all out.
Big up,
Love
big up,
y'all
big up.
long time. Love you a long time.
But yes. There ain't many videos, to be fair, in the intro. There's only one from Gary Lineker, and he's kind of just making. In fact, there's two. Let's just do two. And one of them's going to lead us into the topic of the day. So just give you guys a bit of a
I was actually going to
taster.
send you a video, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to go through the commotion today
Okay.
of playing it.
No
'Cause
problem.
It's Brent's ally.
Prince Ally?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She's talking foolishness.
You talking about my ally? A white woman?
No.
Ally.
As in, she's your people.
I have plenty of peoples
Yeah.
for different reasons. Oh, which one is this one? Oh, you mean Lin May?
No.
Oh crap, that's one guess. I don't mind this guessing game. Hold up. Next one could be you're talking about Elena Payne.
No.
That's what I thought as well.
Sure. Fuck. That's two guesses. I got one more. You wanna use my guess, Gina?
No.
My ally. Oh, you know about Candice Owens?
No.
Damn.
Then I'm all out of guesses.
Yeah.
You're not going to say us?
Oh, well.
When I'm all out of guesses, you're then supposed to.
Wait, Oloni.
Oh.
Oh.
That foolishness.
That video.
What was it? What was it?
You know that angered me.
Basically, she's saying if you're a straight woman and you don't want to have sex or date someone who's bi, you're homophobic.
Okay, shout out Dr. Amani.
Okay, why?
What?
Connect the dots.
Yeah, immediately.
Because I don't understand.
Yeah, immediately.
I remember this conversation. Thank you for doing that.
Because I was even thinking,
Sorry.
okay.
Exactly.
Sorry.
What we doing here?
So I remember a conversation that she had with Dr. Cheryl about this same thing. I didn't know it stemmed from Oloni, or maybe it didn't, and Oloni was just sharing her thoughts on it, but she also agrees with that particular original poster's thoughts. Yeah, that's where the Dr. Mani thing comes in.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to see it because I didn't know where it came from.
Funny enough, I was scrolling and I saw the clip. As soon as I heard the first line, obviously I scrolled again. I'm not interested in. Woo! It almost came out. So, you understand? But yeah, it might as well. Today's the Arday day, you know what I'm saying? So.
What?
I paused because
What?
But she's family.
Okay, exactly. So I said your people.
No, but you said ally at first.
Yeah, no, but I was
which
thinking...
created distance.
Yeah, no.
Whereas she's closer than that.
No, but I clocked what I meant, and then I was like, she's your people.
Oh,
That's why I
so
changed
you're
it.
allowed to clock but not give context, right? Fair.
What's the context?
No, at the time you didn't, but all right. So let's see what's happening.
Hence why I changed it.
It's okay.
I said she's your people.
Mhm.
She's not your people.
Can we play the video?
It has to be sent to me first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Same.
Yeah.
Kind of. I saw the first line. Again.
Wait. So what are your thoughts before?
Huh? For real? I mean, yeah.
I don't mind sharing my thoughts.
Of course. It's
It's men's turn to be like, look at you. They be called us homophobic for all sorts of stuff.
Big facts.
You
Big
understand?
facts.
So
Big facts.
you all deserve some
That's true.
time in the sun.
That's cute. Call me what the fuck you want.
Mate.
I don't give a shit.
Mate,
Okay.
when she said that, I said, I will wear the label. I don't give a heck.
And I saw so many
don't give a
people in the
heck.
comments, and I was like, okay. And I thought, you know what? I'm actually tired of humans.
Nah.
People will agree.
real,
I want to
for
hear
real.
the reasoning. Because
What?
I want to hear the reasoning.
Oh,
Like,
as to why you'd be classed as
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I've sent it to you on WhatsApp, Brent.
Hope everybody in the chat is good. Like the video, please, guys. Like the video. It's gonna be a good, interesting topic today. So look, as you can tell already from the beginning, there's going to be a lot of storytelling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of storytelling today.
No, we're gonna hear a lot of stories.
Yeah, you understand? A lot of story. The
I'm-
best storyteller.
I'm gonna stay away from telling stories from in the future.
Because you're not on this guy's level.
This.
Is it the stupid guy saying he's classmate? Is that what you're talking about?
Wait.
Yeah.
I do believe we might have an interesting conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's on the same page.
In fact, I just remember I got bad videos to send to you. I forgot. Thank you for that, Christine.
Oh, you didn't. It wasn't even that one. That one was just. Oh,
Oh, Lord help us.
This might be.
I'm sorry. Our people are finished.
We're just
We're
making it.
finished. We're finished.
This is the end.
Raw.
Hey, I might as well convert to my brothers them yesterday from Saturday. I might as well convert at this point.
I'm telling you.
Because
A lot of you are lying to yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, that's like, a lot of you are lying. Wait, lying to yourself is so strong.
it's such a strong statement.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, sure.
Some men prayed for times like these, man.
I used to pray for times like this.
Let's see what.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Let's see what our ally has to say.
The only reason why a cis hetero woman would not want to be with a man who is bisexual is down to homophobia. Like, let's be real.
Yo,
Okay.
your bad mind. Said the first lie
Yeah.
you switched up.
You went, phew.
Oh, let's call a spade, okay? At the end of the day, who's going to beat you?
No
It's
one.
Your emotions, it's your love.
Not one
it's your
person.
vagina
Not
at the
one
end of the
person.
day. But when we unpack it all, straight women are notoriously homophobic. No different to straight men. And to deny it is just so disingenuous. At the very least, hold your lips and be quiet. Because at the end of the day, again, who is actually going to beat you? But to come on here and say that it's not down to homophobia, then what is it? What is it? You people come on here and say, it's my preference, I've done this before. Where does your preference come from? You weren't born with your preference, for goodness sake. If you were born into a society that wasn't notoriously homophobic, you wouldn't give a shit if a man was bisexual or not, because you'd understand that sexuality is a spectrum and men and women can be absolutely fluid. But because we live in a society that demonizes gay men, it's not exactly the first option that cis hetero women run to when it comes to thinking about, the love of their life. A lot of you are lying to yourselves. The only reason why a cis hetero woman would not want to be with a man who is bisexual is that
I'm going to need her to come to the front and produce her bi man now. Produce him now. Produce him. I need to know that she has also dated and had sexual relations with a bi man. Please produce him.
Not sexual relations, child.
Produce him. I need her to be the first. She's talking all this with him. Please produce him. Or whoever her next man. Please produce him. He needs to be bi.
He needs to be.
Yeah, no, it needs to be. You got all this with him. He needs to be.
All right, can I ask?
She should even fly the flag.
Can I ask why it has rattled so many women?
Oh, I'm not rattled.
No, I'm aware. I can hear. I can hear.
If the sky falls.
Is it that she has called you all homophobic?
No, you know what? I don't even care about that, People call me racist. Do I care? What are we doing here?
But this is the crux of her argument, isn't it? The crux of her argument is that majority of black women are
If she said that in front
Did
of
she
me...
say black women, though?
No, but she's not talking to the white audience here.
The thing is, if she said that in front of me, I would laugh in her face. And I would say, if the shoe fits, I'll wear it. Simple. I don't, that doesn't bother me. To me, like I said, it's foolishness to me to even entertain that.
So you should be just agreeing with her.
What?
You shouldn't be angry. You should just agree with her.
No, it's the sentiment. And then she throws in where our preferences inherently, all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, oh, what are we doing here?
Well, the main point in that isn't that. The main point is actually the claim that you're homophobic. And if you agree with her, just agree with her. You don't have to get irate about it, surely.
No, she started off saying, you people lie to yourselves. Who are the people?
I think that's, when it's just like, okay, calm down. Slow down, cowboy.
Yeah, exactly.
Really didn't. I think you're lying to yourself stuff is just like, it's not that deep.
So in your mind, you're like, nah, I'm not lying. I know I'm homophobic.
It's not even that. I don't care. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't sit there and think the crazy thing is I've never sat there and thought about it. But what was killing me was the comments. You know me, I ran straight there with my popcorn. And I was reading someone I know in particular, like she was going back and forth and I thought, you even have time. You have a lot of time.
Was that person claiming that she wasn't homophobic?
No, her comment was, I'm never gonna go down it. Like, basically she was saying the reason why, but I just thought, you just opened up a
Let me find out what this
can of worms, girl. But yeah.
It's crazy. That was 4 days ago. All right. It was recent.
But yeah, I generally don't care. And I don't want to date bi men either.
Oh.
So if it means that's what I am, then okay.
Okay.
Like I said, it's cute.
Yeah, fair.
But what I don't understand is, if a straight person wants to date another straight person and only date a straight person, by that default, I'm homophobic.
This is why I'm saying this. You see all of this stuff, yeah. This is why I'm starting to like humans are really grinding my gears because it's genuinely annoying at this point. Like everything is annoying. Everything is annoying. Everything. It's all annoying. There's a label and a title for everything. I'm tired. So I just want to be a hedgehog. How about that? I just want to be a hedgehog. I genuinely do.
No, it's possible.
I want to be a hedgehog.
No, it's possible.
I identify as a hedgehog.
And she will she will tell you it's fine.
I want to identify as one.
She'll tell you it's fine. So you're even free to do so.
At this point, ciao.
There will even be argument. There won't be no argument.
No, I can just be in my little...
But the argument will be you're homophobic because you want to only date a straight man and not a bi man.
Like, do animals go through this?
No, they're happy, man.
So I want to be a hedgehog. No drama. Nothing.
I can want to say Sonic.
No, I do. And you know why? Because he's a bad man as well. He ain't no meaty hedgehog. Yeah. That's creme de la creme.
I love this. I mean, I love this.
What do you love?
Obviously, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about how black men are called homophobic just for not wanting to be friends with a homosexual, right? Ain't got no problem with working with them, talking to them, nothing. But apparently, if it is that they, can't befriend one, they're homophobic. So yeah, I love that the conversation now has just gone back to where it needs to be, innit?
Can someone? Okay, what is the definition of like a phobia?
Well, I went to the definitions.
What's the definition? No, I genuinely want to know.
Bring it up.
All right.
Because I want to know. Because I feel like it's kind of different. Because if I'm scared of spiders, right? Like that's a phobia.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Are you sure? Because we don't move like we don't move like it is. That's why I just want to know.
We've changed.
I just want to know because
No.
I want to know what the definition of a phobia is, and if
Let Brent
Please.
It says a phobia is an intense, irrational, and lasting fear of a specific object, place, animal, or situation.
so not people.
I'm sure you can throw it in there.
Yeah, we animals.
That's
Yeah?
what Miles says all the time. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
So what have they?
So irrational fear
It's
and disdain.
Can you bring up homophobic? Have they added this to the definition?
As
They like to add things over time.
It has to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the etymology of the word. Phobia, phobic. It's all the same.
Phobic. All right. Homophobic. I never had this. I
Go on.
swear. I thought it would be Arday all day. Homophobic is an adjective that describes a fear, hatred, prejudice, or dislike of gay, lesbian, or bisexual people, or anyone perceived to be part of the LGBTQ plus community.
That definition is serious, yo.
Mm.
Can't, like, it gets everybody.
So we're in the category because we're by default being prejudiced because we don't want to date them.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All day, nigga.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay.
Big up everybody in the chat. Guys, you have to understand where you are in life. You know what I'm saying?
Stop
Yes,
it.
100%. And you have to move accordingly. You understand? I, for one, I'm not homophobic.
No, do you know why? No, do you know why?
Dumb.
No,
You're actually dumb.
do you know why I find it really interesting though? Yeah,
Oh.
because you, like, I feel like you're adding.
Before you continue, I've just asked ChatGPT, my agent, personally. 'Cause
Yeah.
I programmed it, right?
Mm.
I've asked it, is a woman who refuses to date a bisexual man homophobic?
Yeah.
Chat says no.
Mm.
Simply refusing to date a bisexual man does not automatically make a woman homophobic.
Okay.
People are allowed to have boundaries and preferences
Okay.
about who they date, including preferences based on sexuality. Nobody is entitled to a romantic or sexual relationship with somebody else. Where it could become homophobic or biphobic is the reasoning behind the preference. For example,
Hi, biphobic.
Saluting.
Saluting.
English.
there's a difference between I'm personally not comfortable dating a bisexual man, a dating boundary. Bisexual men are secretly gay, less masculine, guaranteed to cheat, disgusting. Hey.
That.
Not too far now.
Stereotypes or prejudice, and that could reasonably be called biphobic. So if it is you do the second one, then yes. But if you do the first, no.
Okay.
That is crazy because the first one is just, you're not really giving the reason. It says, I'm personally not comfortable dating about why.
Yeah. Because the whack is going to the
Why? There's also
Oh, man.
an interesting gray area. Someone can hold a legitimate dating boundary and have that boundary influenced by prejudiced assumptions. You still wouldn't say they are obliged to date bisexual men. Rather, you might question the beliefs underlying the preference. So, if the debate is, does rejecting a bi man by itself proves homophobia? No, it doesn't. I think Oloni went deeper. She went deeper. She went to the why. So, as you said, you were looking forward to Oloni's next man
She should bring him, please.
being bisexual.
Yeah. Champion it, please.
Come on. Pick him up.
All right.
In advance. Insane.
All right. What's the next video?
You know what? Today is an Arday day. So let's forget the other videos. Let's just get into the headlines and focus on what matters.
Then, shout out Professor. Never mind.
You said shout out, Professor.
But then I said something afterwards.
I didn't hear that bit after.
It's on there. Okay. Guys, first headline. Andy Burnham. He's kicked off his national cost of living tour, you know what I'm saying, today on Monday, and announced a new package of everyday fixes alongside it. He's fast-tracking rules, forcing companies to make subscriptions easier to cancel, moving the start date up from next spring to January. He's also launching a consultation on banning deceptive discount offers so watchdogs can more easily punish firms using fake sales tactics. I heard, this could be fake news though, right? So don't I'm saying take this as gospel. But apparently him and somebody in his cabinet, I can't remember, they're looking at expanding the BBC TV license. Apparently what they're saying is they want to be able to include within that TV license streaming services like Netflix and all the others.
Can they just fuck off? Sorry.
What?
No, do you know what? I'm so done with these people. I'm done. What more do
You're not
you
even
want
talking
from
of
me?
abolishing it. You're talking not expanding it.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, man.
No,
Obviously,
man.
for those who don't know, like, if you don't watch TV but only have the streaming services, you don't have to pay TV license, innit? So obviously, they're trying to say for those people who want to just go to the TV license guys, the Netflix guys, the Disney and all that. Yeah, all of that stuff's going to be included now. So if you watch those, you need to pay TV.
If you
license.
watch Netflix, all of those.
Yeah, you'd have to. But again, it could be fake news. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll have to look into that with time and stuff, and I'll give you guys more accurate info. But the Shadow Chancellor, Mel Stride, said that Burnham had already run out of ideas, blaming Labour's tax rises for pushing costs up in the first place. Next headline, and this is going to be about our topic of the day, and this is about Jason Arday. You know what I'm saying? Notice now, in a lot of the articles, he's no more professor. It's just Jason, the regular Jason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, prominent black figures who publicly backed the former Cambridge professor, Jason Arday, are now facing backlash themselves. Days after he resigned amid scrutiny of his record. The author, Nels Abbey, is fighting the Spectator over claims that he chaired the university investigation that cleared Arday of plagiarism. He only defended him on air. So they were trying to say, you did far more, right? But he's like, no, only, spoke out for him on air. Sunita Elaine, who's the first black head of an Oxbridge college, has reportedly been personally targeted and blamed for Arday's appointment, with her contact details circulated online.
Are people sick?
Very much so. Commentators are split. Some call the scrutiny racist pylon. Others saying the real questions remain about Arday's story, including unverified claims about a knife threat and a severed pig's head sent to his parents. So now they're doubting everything. Now you got to produce the pig's head. This is not nice, guys. It's not nice. We need to stop this, man. Next headline takes us to Kano in Nigeria.
Am I looking at the same doc here? Why is the format different?
Yeah, it's that one. Because I did it via...
Oh, so you're responsible.
Yeah.
All right, shout out the researchers.
Big up. This next one. 16 rescued after residential building collapses in Kano in Nigeria. So a residential building collapsed in Dandishe area of Kano State in the early hours of Saturday with 16 people pulled from the rubble. 10 victims were rescued alive immediately, while 3 young children were found unconscious, including a 9-month-old baby. The Kano State Fire Service says that the cause is still under investigation and has urged residents to report structural weaknesses during the rainy season. Very sad, man. Next headline. A Kenyan High Court ruling says that the next presidential election should have been held on the 11th of August, so basically tomorrow, 2026, not August 2027, as planned. But the judge suspended the order to avoid chaos. The court found that the Constitution fixes elections to the second Tuesday of August in the 5th year after the last vote, meaning 2026 and not 2027. Despite the finding, President Ruto's presidency isn't immediately affected since the effect of the ruling has been paused while the legal process continues. The Wiper leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, has urged Kenya's electoral body not to use the ruling as an excuse to threaten postponing the 2027 vote. Next headline, and the strain of Ebola in Congo. The outbreak remains the largest Ebola epidemic ever recorded in DR Congo, with the case fatality rate holding around 44%. The last confirmed count had 694 patients in isolation, an increase of 80 new cases and 40 deaths in just the latest reporting window. The first epidemiological, I don't even know what's going on today, update from European health authorities is due today, tracking the outbreaks spread across 5 provinces. There's no approved vaccine or treatment for this particular strain, though trials remain ongoing. Next headline takes us to Russia, man, where a Russian missile attack damaged residential buildings in Ukrainian port city of Odessa, injuring at least 13 people. President Zelensky said 300,000 families in the Odessa region lost power as a result of the strikes. It's part of a wider wave of Russian strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure as the war heads towards its 4th winter. Separately, Kiev says that Washington has not yet agreed to license Patriot missile production to Ukraine, despite Zelensky claiming such a decision has been made. Next headline. The Prime Minister, Netanyahu, says that Israel rejects the Board of Peace's roadmap for Hamas's disarmament, pushing back on claims Israel had accepted the US-backed plan. Despite the public rejection, Netanyahu and the Defense Minister, Israel Katz, reportedly quietly approved rehabilitation work to begin in the southern Gaza near Rafah. The report suggests that the US had been closely tracking Israeli compliance with no IDF strikes in Gaza for 5 days as pressure built on Hamas to start disarming. Trump separately said that the US is low-keying its approach to Iran, favoring economic pressure over new military action for now. Next headline, and Bristol Airport was forced to suspend all operations for around 14 hours on Friday evening after a defect, reported by some passengers as a hole was found on the runway. The runway reopened at 8 a.m. on Saturday, but a backlog left passengers facing delays of up to 5 hours over the weekend. Inbound flights, including one from Rhodes, were diverted as far as Newcastle, leaving passengers with a 5 to 6 hour journey back to Bristol. The airport, obviously, they've apologized and asked passengers to check with their airline directly as disruption continues to ripple through this week's schedule. And our last headline, Syria's foreign ministry has announced plans to turn the former Russian military bases into joint training centers with Moscow. Officials say that the agreement opens the way for a new phase in Syrian-Russian relations, following Russia's past support for the deposed leader Bashar al-Assad. The deal marks one of the clearest signs yet of Damascus recalibrating its relationship with Moscow since Assad's fall. And that's it for the headlines, guys. Let's get into the topic of the day. All right, so you guys have been
What was that?
damn.
I guess you game.
Sorry, people. Ghost in the machine.
You guys obviously have somewhat been aware of what's been going on with Professor Arday, Professor Jason Arday, right? He was the youngest professor in Cambridge history. No longer the case, but we're going to get into why. And obviously, we heard so many amazing things about him, right? I think the first time I mentioned this, I heard about him was like 2 years ago. I think I saw him maybe in a Guardian article or something. I was talking about him being non-verbal up until the age of 11. They learned how to read and write by 18. And obviously becoming a Cambridge professor. And I think currently he's 37. So I think he's been in the role for a couple of years. So he was doing amazing things.
Who's 37?
It's the Arday.
Why does he look so old?
I know, he doesn't look it at all.
Unless I've got it wrong, and he became a professor at 37.
To be honest,
I think he's
we can get whatever we want.
That's not
We want.
100%.
He what?
Today we can see what we want.
Right, we got a free pass, yeah.
So that's the situation. Like the video, guys. Like the video, please, and share the video. We need to talk about this, man. We need to come together as a community and decide on what way we're going. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a war going on. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely a war going on.
There's a war going on.
I know what side I'm on.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? So we need to know who's going to win at the end of this. But yeah, that's basically the context about Professor Arday, yeah? Black man, and that's everything else, like I said. So I'm going to play some videos so you can see it from different sources, different people that's chiming into what's going on. And then obviously we can, make sure that we are up to date with what's going on and, get straight into it. So the first thing I want you to play, Brent, is, if you go to the topic of the day, you're going to see a link there, the first link.
Okay.
Now, I believe I think Isaac mentioned this when he called up as well last week, that there's a guy that basically who's totally against critical race theory, which is basically saying that, racism is inherent in certain institutions, goes back centuries or whatever, and it's still there today, long story short. And that guy, his name is Nathan COFNAS. And this guy is principally responsible for digging into all types of stuff and basically saying that this guy, this black man, I believe he's a DEI hire, and there must be something about his credentials that is not right. I'm going to dig deep. And so he was the one, if I'm not mistaken, that uncovered the whole plagiarism stuff, right? So just a bit of context on Nathan COFNAS. This is the video. And then we can get
Professor in question, Jason Arday, appointed.
All right.
Okay, everyone's saying he's 41, so I think he was hired at 37. So Arday is 41 currently. Thank you,
Is the
chat.
guy speaking who you just said?
No, the guy's explaining who Nathan
okay.
COFNAS is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The resignation of Professor Jason Arday from Cambridge, youngest black professor. accusations of plagiarism and embellishment and exaggeration and straight out lies about his CV. But one thing that you might have seen is this man.
Racist is just the word that they use to refer to somebody who questions the woke ideology.
Platform now on different podcasts and TV news channels. His name is Nathan COFNAS, an American philosopher of biology. But one of the reasons that he's controversial is because he doesn't just dislike the idea of increasing representation amongst academics in the UK, where less than 2% of professors are black. Instead, he thinks that we should scrap the idea of increasing representation because we are not biologically equal. Black people are less intelligent than their white peers. It's something that he believes. Hereditarianism, also what he calls race realism. Part of why people like him have gained prominence might do or have something to do with funding. We're talking about Peter Thiel and people like Charles Vaughan, who is connected to Thiel's venture capital fund, who has been able to create a network of academics at institutions like Oxford and Cambridge who believe in pseudoscientific race science. For example, Charles Murray, who co-wrote The Bell Curve in 1994 and argued that there were biological differences in terms of intelligence, and that is based on race. But the Human Genome Project mapped out all of our DNA, and what they found is that if you took any two human beings on Earth, they share 99.9% of the same DNA. So where do these ideas come from, and have they been disproved? Well, on the latter, yes. We're talking about the American Psychological Association, which published papers 2 years after the Bell Curve was released and found that environmental factors were the cause. Or you could talk about Nisbet et al. In 2012, who found that when you took into account these environmental differences, then you could explain to a large degree differences in terms of IQ testing, which has been criticized as an imperfect way of measuring how human beings are differently intelligent and enabled. But one more thing. When I asked you about whether or not or where these ideas come from, we could also just talk about what they do, which is during the Second World War, the Nazis, phrenology, eugenics, the idea of one race being superior to another led to the murder of millions of Jews and many more. And ironically, COFNAS, the name, has Jewish roots. It's those same Jewish roots that have been persecuted throughout history, especially in Europe, and especially linked to the idea of race science. And at a time when British Jews are facing anti-Semitism and hate crimes, amongst other groups who are also facing the idea that they are only their race or their religion, and that's how we can determine how to treat them, then the idea that we should be hearing from this kind of person will be of great danger and concern to many. But what do you think? Is this just a matter of free speech? Let us know your thoughts down below. You can follow Nova for more. Support our work on Patreon and help us reach 1,000 supporters.
There you go.
If you've been online...
So that's more information on Nathan COFNAS, right? And obviously, you know, like you said, COFNAS is probably being funded, not probably, definitely being funded. And there'll be other COFNASes around, innit, that'll be doing this type of work, innit? But,
that surname just sounds racist.
You understand?
I'm sorry.
I understand. But, you know, certain people haven't paid for their crimes yet. So, big up Christ is coming back in the clouds. COFNAS will be first. Anyway, so...
Did you just say big up Christ is coming back in the clouds?
100%. Where have you been, Gina?
Okay.
You missed it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, I'm going to...
That were the Hebrew Israelites that came true 2 days this week.
Do you want to know what's so interesting?
Once
Come
a
on.
weekend.
I have a nephew, yeah,
Big him up.
who went through a phase in his life where he was an Israelite. Like, I'm not even joking. He, yeah.
Big him up,
It
man.
was a time. It was a time.
Well, why this is significant, yeah, is because, well, for a number of reasons, is it? But obviously, when we heard Mr. Arday's story, there would have been a lot of people thinking, okay, cool, look at all this amazing achievement done by a black man. And you know that's the reason, that was the motivation for why they wanted to look into this, right, and bring him down. So again, for those who don't know too much about him, his story was remarkable, right? Diagnosed with autism and developmental delay as a child, non-verbal until around 11, learned to read and write at 18, pardon me. After that, completed university degrees and a PhD, became an academic specializing in race, inequality, and education, worked at Roehampton, Durham, Glasgow, and then obviously eventually got to Cambridge. So all of this is happening, right, for him. He's also a prominent advocate for racial equality and widening participation in academia, right? So this is not just a regular professor, at least on paper. This is what we're seeing. He was doing certain things. So all of these things came out, long story short. And then, plagiarism. What's you guys' idea of plagiarism?
Is it when you take someone's work and you don't credit them in the footnotes?
There you go. Exactly. And that's the long and short of it, that's basically what it is, right? But there is another side to it that will kind of still constitute plagiarism if you incorrectly put certain sources there as well. So there's another clip there that I want Brent to play where somebody says, wait a minute, I think this is all unfair. I believe Isaac also was saying that he had him on his TikTok. They did a live together, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is the clip anyway that I want you guys to see.
Okay. Oops, I don't want two of these. I just want one.
And what's the term from when white people try to become the best allies in the world?
White savior complex.
No, there's another one where they're just kind of begging it. I can't remember. But either way, Isaac was basically saying like he's a cool guy, but it seems like that's what he's on in it. So this is probably why he has this perspective in it. But he gets into a bit more information about the plagiarism.
At the age of 37, Professor Arday has been celebrated by Cambridge University, the BBC, and academic elites across the world as the youngest black academic in the university's history. Perhaps the real racism is the DEI ideology that led to Jason Arday being appointed in the first place. The soft bigotry of no expectations built on the implicit assumption that ethnic minorities need a leg up to succeed.
This is a blatant attempt to smear a successful black academic. Conservative journalists like Lara Brown and the journalists using this story to attack DEI keep saying plagiarism because it makes Jason Arday sound like he deliberately stole somebody else's work. The evidence we have does not prove deliberate theft. It shows bad referencing and error. Paula Zwozdiak-Myers, the woman Arday is accused of copying, wrote this sentence in her 2009 PhD. 6 years later, Arday used the same wording and kept the same two sources underneath it. He should have made clear where the exact sentence came from. He failed to do so, and that is a genuine mistake. But you'll never guess what? Conservative journalists forgot to mention this part. Arday names Zwozdiak-Myers 14 times and lists both her thesis and her book in his references. If he was trying to hide her, why tell his readers who she was 14 times? Someone compared both theses sentence by sentence and published the results. Most of the matching wording appeared in the opening chapters where previous research was being discussed. In the section covering Arday's own method, data and findings, only 29 out of 2,556 sentences matched. That is 1.1%. So where exactly is the stolen research? Liverpool John Moores investigated and reportedly concluded these were honest errors. It also accepted Arday had been badly let down by poor supervision. And this is important context. Arday is autistic. Research involving 54 autistic students found poorer planning and organisation were linked to academic process. This does not prove autism caused his mistakes, of course not, but it shows why proper supervision matters, especially when he barely received any. For comparison, look at the treatment of William O'Reilly. In 2023, Cambridge found this white historian had copied more than 12 pages from a student almost word for word. Its tribunal called it negligent rather than deliberate, and he kept his job. And this is crucial because where was the national panic about whether white men belonged in academia? Lara and others pile on marathons, fundraising claims, and every disputed story she finds around Jason Arday to smear him. None of this proves how a sentence entered his thesis years earlier. It is there to make you distrust him before the investigation has even concluded. And then she jumps straight to DEI. Of course she does. Without hiring records of proof of Cambridge lowering its standards for him. It's blatantly obvious. We see what they're doing. They have taken a black academic's referencing mistakes, stripped away everything, pointing towards error, and sold this as suspicion of black achievements, as concerns for standards. We need to watch these people closely because we know what they're doing.
Professor in question?
All right. So that's basically what his position is. I believe I just saw in the chat, Isaac said that this guy, if it matters to you anyway, that this guy has since now changed his position.
Well, has he?
Yeah, this guy's now left the Arday train. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Well, because we're going to get into it. So remember, when we first spoke about this, maybe the first couple of times, it may have seemed as though we were kind of flip-flopping if people weren't paying attention properly. Why is that? Because Cambridge, remember, initially defended him.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it looked like, wait a minute, all of that was all nonsense, right? So long story short, a university spokesperson said that he had been subjected to a vile campaign to undermine his credibility and pointed out that the relevant investigations had cleared him already of any wrongdoing, yeah? that created two competing narratives. One side argued that a successful black academic specializing in race was being subjected to obsessive scrutiny and a racially charged campaign, and the other side, obviously, legitimate questions about academic integrity were being dismissed as racism because obviously Mr. Arday was a prominent black academic. But then, the more digging that started to occur, people was bringing out the excavators and whatnot. They started looking past the plagiarism and into his story.
Everything.
You gotta be careful.
Which I find highly problematic.
Why is that though? Talk to me.
Because that has now triggered you to go all. Why? I just feel like, would they do this to other people?
Yeah, it seems quite intense.
Like, why is this such
I really want to bring him down.
Why is this such a populist thing to be now? Like, he's obviously now the spotlight needs to be on him. Like, he's the poster child now. Now everything is in question. Might as well question his age at this point. Check his birth certificate. Where was he born? Like, where do we draw the line?
Does it matter if it's not true?
That is not true.
Now, I'm just saying, if they're digging into his story and they start looking into all those things that you just mentioned, yeah. Yes, because there's some hatred there. Yes, because they want to shame him or whatever it may be. But does it matter though? Just give me a simple answer. We're gonna get into it more. Then I'll ask you again. Right? Does it matter?
The thing is, you're so convinced she's gonna change her mind. He said, "When I show you what I have."
Does it matter?
Wait,
does it matter if it's not true?
I need to, Brent, let me send you what this guy sent me.
Right.
I need you to, because if you're taking a position right now that I think you're taking, and then you've sent me this.
Did I send you?
No, I'm gonna send
Wait, show me first.
No, I'm sending it.
No, you don't know my position.
No, I'm sending
Oh my days.
You're gonna know me.
This is family business.
She says you're gonna know me. You're gonna feel her wrath today, boy.
Oh man.
And this is fair.
I don't even know what the video is, I'm confused.
You might say, "Show me first."
You don't even remember what you said.
Exactly.
So you're panicking.
Very much so. All right, but either way, yeah. So they started looking into the claims about that he was making in his biography, in his CVs, in his university profiles, his LinkedIn, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, welcome to all of the new subscribers. Welcome to all new subscribers.
Big up all the new subscribers.
I love your profile pic.
Come on, big up the King Mano show. What are you gonna say?
You could read the message.
Oh yes. His paper has been checked, guys, by multiple PhD supervisors, confirmed by Dr. Kende Andrews. The plagiarism claims are unfounded. My good brother Andrew, big you up firstly. Secondly,
and
how
Isaac checked.
Yes, no, Isaac has changed his position now. Isaac is saying he plagiarized. He did it. Plagiarization.
So that was the result of your findings, Isaac, but apparently Dr. Kende Andrews checked and
it's unfounded.
Claims were unfounded. So why are you on different sides of this particular coin? Interesting.
It is indeed. Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. But long story short, because of the plagiarism stuff, let's just even call it a debate, right? From there, they then looked into his life, innit? And all the things he had told the public in various platforms via books, CVs, plagiarism. Sorry. I don't know what happened there.
Emmanuel. Is that a Freudian slip?
Very much so. I didn't pick up the banana skins.
I can't wait to get his shit off me. He said it's taking too long. I want to state my point. All right, cool.
He said he ain't changed his stance.
Who said that?
He said he ain't changed his stance.
Okay, big up the minister. Come on, big up the minister.
Take the white man's side against your people.
He sent me this, and
then what?
He just said no thinking. So I'm thinking, oh, this must
up. You set her up. You just wanted to oppose in the argument. Like, I know where I am, so I couldn't
imagine.
Remember, when it comes to minister, we can't play clips one time and stop short. You must play the entirety.
Sorry.
Come on. Come on.
Defend your people.
Come on, minister.
Defend them. With all the truth that you know, defend your people. Even when in their apparent wrong, I say,
at what point do you hold your people accountable though? Because
But we do it behind closed doors.
okay,
We do it behind closed doors, man. Big up the minister every single time. Black Rob, be careful with your words, my friend.
because to be honest, yeah, you can't really be defending bad behavior though because someone's black.
No, 100%.
Like I feel like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Are you sure?
Oh, no, 100%. But the minister's
Saying
obviously...
100%, but
No.
I don't think it's 100%.
No, because
Not
remember,
with you
this
anyway.
is just a clip in it. But the minister's obviously talking about doing certain things in an appropriate fashion, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be piling on with people who really don't want our progress. You know what I'm saying? So if there's an issue,
I heard that.
let's deal with this behind closed doors. I've
But
always had this stance.
unfortunately, we don't have closed doors though.
Well, we have to try and
No, but
do
we
something.
don't, but we don't as a community. I don't think we do. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think we. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's the situation. So more people started to pile on. What, someone in Discord?
Yeah, K Price.
Okay, K-Price, we're gonna come back to you. Please wait. Please. I want everyone to see all the videos so everyone's up to date with everything, right? And obviously you can take your positions and whatnot. But yeah, anyway, this started delving into his life, innit? And that's why we heard certain information about certain things. Now, obviously, I don't know if he's a satirist or he's a something online, right? But he was obviously made privy to certain things in the book, his biography, right? His memoir, right? And so this guy started to go through it, right? And so I'm going to read it. Again, this will be from a particular lens, in it, where they're trying to make fun of him. But just pay attention to the claims that was made, right, in the actual book. So, for example, he was beaten up so badly as a teen, right, that he became epileptic, yeah? And when the boys who did this were caught, he told the judge that he didn't want them to go to prison, right? So this is now the quote now. By the time Arday started on his master's degree, he writes that he was reading at about the same level as his 3-year-old daughter. Obviously, I think this is just storytelling. It's poetry, isn't it? But obviously, this person trying to make fun of Professor Arday. So hear it in that context as well, innit? But still, it's going to give you some information about what's in the book. That's the point of me reading this out. Chad Arday, don't know why it says Chad Arday. Anyway, Chad Arday was going through college, illiterate, had his girlfriend write out his applications and managed to father a child. He then got a teaching job, but he didn't have any money, so he started working at a supermarket from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, and then from 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Sorry, Gina just showed me something in the morning. Don't say anything. And also, remember the guys? And then the guy says, remember the guys who beat him up? Well, it turns out that 2 of the muggers ended up being his students, right? They were so moved by his compassion that they had turned their lives around and were now helping at-risk youth.
Serendipity, man.
You understand? As his dissertation approached, Arday got a brain tumor and he lost his memory, right? So this is now in quotes. More troubles follow in the years ahead. Arday's brain tumor returns. He splits up with his wife. He suffers autistic burnout during the coronavirus pandemic and can't get out of bed. He decides to kill himself by jumping off a bridge. By the very last moment, he listens to his favorite song. The author of the piece writes, I reached out to the book's fact checker to ask whether this and several other stories from the book had been verified, but she did not respond. There's another part as well. The Atlantic, they also got their hands on the book's proposal. There are even more incredible stories in it. Apparently, as a teenager, Arday got hit by a car and went into a coma. The doctor told his parents to pull the plug, but he refused. Must be the parents refused, right? There's also a bout of testicular cancer as well that shows up in the proposal, but it doesn't make it into the book, yeah? So yeah, this is basically the stories that we're hearing. So this is what everyone is basically challenging now.
So those are the stories in the book. People are saying those are false.
No. We don't know if they're false. But everyone's now doubting that it's true. Do you know what I'm saying? So all those things I mentioned.
Okay, and has people who are doubting that have come with the proof to say that it's otherwise?
Well, I've got a next video for you to see. So remember I said that he was non-verbal, right?
Okay.
Up to the age of 11.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Brent, put
Yeah,
it down,
I've seen
please.
that clip already.
Is that the one I was mentioning earlier? The clip.
Thank you.
Yes. Christine.
Is that the clip? Yeah, that I was mentioning earlier.
Yes.
Have you turned off the AC?
Oh my days. All right. So yeah, let's get back into the boat.
All right. And cool regarding Isaac's comment. He said, "I'll expand when Discord opens." All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Did you say let's play the clip?
Yeah, so are they in class?
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna put another one in there as well.
He's made a few, you know.
Yeah. Can you get to the others from there? Or should I
I
just find it like and put it after?
think I may be able to.
Okay, cool. But I think the clip that I put in there is the first clip that he made. That I shared in the Discord. And stuff like that.
Jason Arday.
Oh, him.
Yeah, when a
He's
black
moving
man
wild.
in a hat starts laughing before he starts talking, I know he's gonna be rubbish following.
What's the hack to this?
Sorry, I know it's gonna be foolish.
You laugh all the time before you.
He's
talk.
triggered.
I know it's gonna. I know
Emmanuel is triggered.
in a car, no doubt. Yeah, I know foolishness is gonna ensue.
Oh man. Okay, but is it foolishness? Let's give it a try. Let's hear.
Let's give it a try. That.
Listen, I knew it was a joke thing, and I knew it was fraud from man said he was a mute. What do you mean, bro? I went to school with you, bro. I was in primary school with you. You and my brethren nibs, class clowns, chatty patty, all the time, bro. What do you mean you was a mute? Listen, I knew it was a joke thing. You get me? The Ardays. This is what we used to call them, the Ardays. Their man used to be like Michael Jackson and that. The mum, the dad, and his brother Joseph. They all had mini afros. All of them. When I saw him in the picture and I saw long dreads look like extension tats, I was thinking, who's this? But yeah, bruv, it's bait. You should have known it was going to be peak for you, bruv. You should have known they were going to dig up. No one don't want to see you in that position. Joke, man. This got us looking mad now. Got us looking mad.
Who's us?
No, but
who's us?
whilst Brent's getting another clip from him, because obviously people have responded to him, innit? Basically saying, yo, what's going on, man? Like, you're making fun of him, this, that, and the third, innit? So he obviously puts out, I think, 2 more clips. I think it's the one to the thingy of that one, yeah.
Bro, come on, cuz. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Just shut up.
Imagine seen as the angry black guy. These times in both my videos, I'm basically laughing and smiling. People want to complain. I'm generally an upbeat guy. I ain't got time for people that want to mope around and hang your lip, bro. I ain't got time for that. Do you get me? So I'm generally upbeat. That being said, I stand on everything I said. I stand on everything I said. Do you get me? This ain't no black man tearing another black man down when man tore himself down, bro. What I've said is like a little tip of the iceberg. You get me? I'm just the only one who's come out and said something that miraculously no one else didn't say. But bro, I've heard the other gas that this guy is coming with, bro. I've heard it. And you've got to be back in primary school to believe half of this shit. I don't care what you lot are thinking, yeah? I don't care what you lot are thinking, bro. If it was anyone, white man, black man, Asian man, and I knew them, I'd be saying the same thing, yeah? And I had a laugh with my brethren yesterday because I was saying, bro, there was white dons like Greg, Michael and that, who went to our school. If they came out and made a video now, then what? It would probably be looked at as racist. You get me? Oh, man will be cussing, man, because, oh, why is it a white guy that's got to come out and say something about a black guy? Listen, bro, don't shoot the messenger. Did you get the message?
I'm absolutely shooting the messenger.
Can I be
shooting
honest?
the messenger.
There was no need.
And is it again? No, is this another video again?
Guys.
Nah, do you know what?
Do you know what it is?
Please.
There's no
please.
need for the video, yeah,
Please.
because it's like it comes across clout chasing. Do you know what? Do you know what level this is also on for me? Like, have you seen the guy that's crying about Chris Brown in jail and the white guy? Oh, it's freaking hilarious. I've never been so cringed out in my life. There's a guy who apparently looked after Chris Brown when he was in jail, and he's obviously come out of jail and he's like, Chris don't even want to sit with me. I just want to sit and go for a meal with him. And if it weren't for me, you would have got bullied. Like, the video is so cringe. And Chris Brown tore his pant. Like, literally, yeah, because he was like, bruv, I said thank you. I even Chris Brown's rude. I gave your ugly ass girlfriend tickets to my concert. Like, what more do you want? Like, the guy's just, it's like, I don't get the purpose of the video. It's like, to me, it's just clout chasing, because no one needs to know. No one needs to know that you went to school with him. That it's not, like, who cares?
No,
but
you know what I mean? So when you said you knew, so if you knew, why would you make a video before?
They didn't want to expose him, innit?
No.
But then this is what I don't understand. You want to expose him, but now...
Exactly. Now you want to expose him. Exactly.
No, but I guess...
No, where do you stand?
From his perspective, I don't think he thinks he's exposing him. He's just thinking, why did you do this?
Okay, but you have that conversation with your group chat. This
Exactly.
Is my point. You have it with
laugh in the
your group chat or with people that you know personally.
Exactly.
That know that you know him and went to school with him.
Exactly.
You now propping up a camera and coming online and doing free videos talking about, it's not another man tearing it. But what is the purpose of the video? That's my point. Because you're not a social commentator. Like, you don't...
He even said, I'm not even on the internet like that.
So,
can you imagine?
So this is my point.
Can you imagine?
This is my point.
This is what I say. As soon as I saw this, I said foolishness is gonna ensue. Because what we doing here?
You're not on the internet like that, but you chose this moment to be on the internet like that. And then if someone turns around and says you're clout chasing, you're gonna say that no, I'm not. But I want to understand, what was the thought process of this? Like, what was the end goal? For everybody to know that you know him, or for do you get what I'm trying to say though? I don't get it.
Well, we've got this last video. I think he touched.
I'll knock it off.
This is funny.
You're funny.
Man was a mute the whole time I knew him. So what are you telling me? I had no conversations with him. None. Listen, all these people saying, is this even real? Is this truth? Where was you before? Not everyone is on social media. Not everyone's life is social media. Yeah, when this Don got his role, when we're on social like that, and even people that know him and went to school with him as well, they don't really do socials like that. Do you get me? So,
but you do, because you're the spokesperson.
I saw him, I laughed. When I saw the dreads and all of that, I laughed, because that was a joke to me. I remember him with the little baby joint, yeah? But
So
when I
now
saw
that he's got
I
locks.
saw the little write-up, a man tried to say he was, whether it's non-verbal, mute, whatever you don't want to call it, the brother was chatting. Yeah, all the time. And I didn't just go school with him. I went Sunday school with him as well. And you know, if you go Sunday school, you get to go to the clubs, the Tuesday or the Thursday. In the week after school, you would go club, you know, play a little ping pong, kickball, the tuck shop was there, all of that. Them man were there, yeah? Listen, them man were there, and we would jump in the same van to travel down to Sunday school, yeah? Them man would be in the van with my brethren Nibs, you know, talking about my baby all gone, and then Jason be on the back end,
no.
you make it all gone. Look, it's all gone. Bruh, you know when that tune was out,
And then
the
we
baby
should take this
all gone
seriously.
thing, and it was the same era. This is the type
Just takes it seriously.
plonker the brother was, yeah?
This is your
I
man.
can laugh at the dog. I knew him. I don't care what any of you don't want to say it. He went Heathbrook Primary School, yeah? And he went there the whole time I was there. I got a cousin in his class. My brethren was in his class. I know people. I still know people that went to the school and they know him, bro. Stop trying to act like I'm on here to get some sort of clout for the brother. That's done. In my opinion, he's ruined it for other men that look like us to come through where he went through now. Do you know how long it's gonna take for next man to be, or a woman even, yeah, of my skin to be a professor up in them places there? Allow me, cuz. Allow me.
Yes,
Alright.
really allow you, please.
Obviously, you guys are seeing it as he's hating, he's doing certain things. But does he have a point at the end? Honestly, does he have a point? Should Arday have done this, number one, if it is true that he's lying about bare different things? And number two, because of this, right, does this have implications on the black community? Anyone who's striving to get into that sort of position, them getting messed up because of what he's done.
I do think there's going to be consequences, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but Charlie, I haven't got over this grown ass man's videos.
All right, well, let's quickly get through the rest of the videos so that we can open up Discord and everyone can.
So why? So this guy here.
Yeah.
So we're obviously questioning Arday, all of that. It's fine to no, but no one should question this guy. So we should take what he's saying as gospel.
What do you mean? Do you think he's lying?
I'm asking the question. So we should take his thing for gospel.
No, remember, nobody has to do anything. But the reality is, the information's put out there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but people are talking, like, him coming out and saying this, this now proves that, oh yeah, he wasn't, he didn't speak until... Has anything else come out from this video? Apart from this guy's stupid video in his car, on his van, has anything else come out to say that he was not...
I've not seen anything else. This is the only thing that I've seen.
Has any other person corroborate this guy's story? Man's talking about all these brethren and man them. Where are they?
I've not seen it. I've not seen it. So I can't say anything else. All I'm showing you is this side of it. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he's got a memoir, a book, where he's going through so many different things, right, in his life, innit? You know what I'm saying? And people who have got the pre-sales, they're putting out little things out there so that you know what's in the book, right? He had a book tour planned. I told Brent yesterday, he's cancelled his book tour now, right? And this don's come out and said, yo, I seen the thing at first. I didn't say anything, innit? But to me, I'm laughing at him because he's a joke man because he's messed certain things up. And now he's messed certain things up for the black community. That's his position. That's how I'm seeing it, right? Of course, he's throwing in jokes there to make it engaging and things of that nature, innit?
That's not his position because he didn't start off by saying that.
No, but that's what he's saying.
No. He put that at the end. He put after the third video.
All right, cool.
After the third video.
All right, regardless of all those things there, that's what the situation is, right? And in fact, like I said, let's get through the rest of the videos because you're going to see some other things as well. Like in the story, he talks about running some marathons as well. Yeah, what are you going to say?
It doesn't matter what we go through.
Yeah, for real.
I'm glad that the stance is the stance. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
Yes.
Let's continue. All right, the next one is, are they being rewarded?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Another TikTok one. Oh, TikTok's getting a bit of love.
It's a bit harsh, is it? Is it, Jason? Let me tell you, Jason, I know your name because your partner Debbie here has told us all about you. Okay. Debbie, what did you tell us?
Basically, that Jason's just an amazing guy. He has epilepsy. He learned how to speak when he was 11, and he couldn't read or write until he was 16. And he found school quite challenging and quite tough, but he always was so grateful to the people that helped him along the way. So he decided to give back, and he has dedicated the past 10 years to fundraising for people who are in need. And so this has been alongside sort of going to college, going to uni, getting a master's, becoming a uni lecturer. Wow. And at just the age of 27, he has raised almost £250,000 for charity.
These are some of the kind of statistics and the facts and the events that Jason's taken part in. This was the most remarkable thing. Not only the sum of money, but the amount of marathons and the organisations he's been involved with. Tell us some of those, please, Debbie.
So, sort of the main one, which was quite big, it was huge. He ran 30 marathons in 35 days, which is crazy.
Jason, what made you do that?
Pure stupidity.
It's not stupidity, it's generosity and a kind heart. That's what it is.
There's people that do amazing things day in, day out, and I'm just fortunate enough that I'm surrounded by people that appreciate it, so I'm very fortunate.
Well, what
30 marathons in 35 days.
Yeah.
Is that not possible?
I don't know whose body will physically... I'm going to punch you as she's laughing. That is insane. Do you know?
You are an expert on this.
No, but you know what though? Let me take out my phone. Let me take out my phone and let me show you Esme.
We've got
Come
evidence.
on.
We've got evidence.
No, because
Esme.
she's doing it now.
13 is in 30?
She's been running.
Come on.
No. Esme has been running, yeah, and will not stop running until October. And she's sleeping in a van.
Mm-mm.
No. She's doing she's running 5,000 kilometers.
Oh wow.
And she runs every day. She does a marathon every day. Like she's on day 44.
There you go. 44 and 44.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? And it's like, again, she's part of like the Red Bull team. So it's legit.
It can happen.
She's
all right. Let's run
It's
it.
insanity.
Let's run it.
Come on.
Personally.
Give it the benefit of the doubt.
Come on.
That's not stopping us wanting to do something nice for you,
Yeah,
because you've
look.
done so much for other people.
This was yesterday.
1 second, bro.
You don't even know
5
what it is
hours, 38 minutes.
Damn.
She's literally doing
Run, Forrest. Run.
Yeah, no, literally run first run.
Come on. Shout out Esme.
Pick her up.
We know you're going to love it. Jason, take a look at this. We're sending you to New York, courtesy of Teletext Holidays, where you can take in all the sights and also watch others compete in the New York Marathon. And that's not all. We know you're a big tennis fan, so we're sending you to see Grand Slam winner Andy Murray in action at the his ATP World Tour Finals at the O2. And you'll also get to meet the great man himself.
New York's like my favourite place in the world. Oh my God, I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so much.
Listen, enjoy meeting Andy Murray. Enjoy your picture of your well-deserved colleague.
Such a nice guy, man.
Yeah, man.
Such a nice guy.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
I think there's all the accolades, or most of the accolades, is just him helping people. You get me?
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true, man.
All right, what's the next one?
Next one's in order. So just the next one.
All right.
And these are some people who are just talking about the situation and asking, should he really lose his job over this?
Yeah. You really compile these videos, bro.
Yeah, man.
God damn, bro.
We need to help.
I personally hope he doesn't lose his job. I don't think he needs to lose his job. I don't think an academic has to lose their title because they may have inflated how much money they gave to charity. I'm not saying he did, but if that is what he did, I just don't see why that has to be. And many academics have been fantabulists. They've been very strange and wild and wonderful people who had very peculiar personal lives and lived entirely in their own minds. I don't mind that. I just think much of the fantasy that we have been spun about this particular character, and not just him doing it, but people around him, I just don't think it needed to accompany what could otherwise have been a perfectly good academic career. I personally hope he doesn't lose his job. I don't think...
I agree with him, man. I agree with him, by the way. But anyway, we'll come back to that afterwards. But yeah. And the last thing is basically a guy who represents BLM on LBC, basically talking about asking if he regrets basically signing a letter in support of Mr. Arday.
What
happened?
This is all foolishness to me. Sorry. Just why you signed something. That, anyway, you people, go ahead.
Come on.
Finding that. With hindsight, the letter was clearly premature. It was based on the information that we had available at the time, which included John Moore University's initial clearance of Mr. Arday. But we now know there are more questions to be answered, and that's why Cambridge has launched its own investigation. But the real question we think is, why was this letter even necessary? Why did Cambridge even put a man in a senior position without doing basic due diligence? And we think that the letter was really in response to a vacuum created by Cambridge's own failure. They failed to properly address systemic racism, and instead they appointed someone apparently without the proper process. So we don't think that we should apologize for standing by someone who was being castigated wildly in the press. We are unapologetic in defending black people, but we do think that Cambridge should apologize for using Arday like this to cover up for their own inadequacies on race relations.
Do you regret signing that?
With hindsight, the letter...
Yes, that's it. What do you think of that last point he said? That Cambridge should apologize to Arday.
For failing him?
Yeah, well, more so for failing in their race relation stuff, and so using him as a way to just be like, no, look at the good that we do. You know what I'm saying, and not doing their due diligence.
Did you see the conversation with James O'Brien on his podcast?
Nah.
With Arday, and he brought him to tears.
Serious?
Yeah.
Well, James to tears?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously James has gone to NBC afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, I know multitude of y'all have basically seen the interview. Yeah, where we are in that now, innit?"
Oh man. Anyway, I just wanted to play all these clips so that everyone can just be up to date and made, aware of what's going on out there, innit? Discord is open.
All right, the Discord is now open. Good morning, K Price. What we saying?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Apologies for having to hear me saying that through all these videos, but I have to say, I think of all of them that I've heard, the one I side the most with is the very last one. Because to me, with this whole incident, this isn't so much about Arday as it is about Cambridge. And it is about how Cambridge, I'm not saying, and I think I have a lot of stake to speak on this, because I am also a black man with many neurodivergencies myself. And I think this speaks to whoever was assigned to supervise him as far as his works. I think this speaks to Cambridge's, not just as far as the systemic racism, but their laughably bad track record when it comes to black students, and the fact that when these achievements come up, they are always often framed as an achievement for black people when it's really an achievement for them. And there is definitely, the thing is, for people who are mostly critiquing him and what has happened, rather than look at it as, okay, we screwed up here, we are going to try and pursue this and make it better, they're using this to be like, right, because this one example is what it is, we should roll this back to make sure that, we don't have another one in here. And I say this also because the university as in itself is a conservative institution, not in terms of a political sense, but in terms of wanting its reputation preserved. So they will do whatever they can to maintain that sort of prestigious reputation, even if it might make them look bad. So I feel like this is more a thing that is reflective on Cambridge and how shallow, when this sort of thing comes up, they rush to make it look more like, isn't this an amazing achievement on our part? And then if these sort of things go wrong, rather than defend or try and protect this person, they leave them to the wolves.
Is that fair, K Price? Because you said that, if something goes wrong, they leave them to the wolves. Remember I mentioned before that Cambridge came out first to defend him. You know what I'm saying? They were like, no, this guy is, right and exact, plagiarism, lies. We verified he's a legit professor and he's here. You know what I'm saying? I think it's only when there was more of the pylon and they maybe looked into it a bit further, they recognized that there's other things attached to him that don't seem accurate. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the Moores University, they said no plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
Is it fair to blame Cambridge though?
Yes.
Okay.
I say yes, it is. Because plagiarism just across the board, and I'm also, funny enough, a literature grad, plagiarism is not a laughing matter. And I am in agreement. Even as far as they are able to make adjustments in terms of marking assignments and that, but Also, I have to ask, this is just maybe it's a small nitpick of mine, but like, why are we talking about this through the Americanized lens of DEI when over here we do EDI? And that might seem small, but I think the fact that the letters are changed around makes a very, very big difference. Because one emphasizes equality while the other emphasizes diversity. Right? This is more so a reflection on Cambridge, and I'm not saying that I don't think he didn't fabricate it, but also as far as that brother in his car saying, "Oh, this reflects on all of us." The problem, you say that like as if this is a country where people have taken us seriously to begin with, right? So this idea that if one black man does good or bad, it's reflective on all of us is faulty and is more reflective on why, like, it goes back to a lot of these old ideas where point blank there was less visible when there was less visible black people in public spaces, so people would kind of channel it through that. But as you had Simeon along on here, we've never had more visible black people in a variety of spaces. And not only that, like, considering how a lot of this talk is centered around, you know, oh, it's DEI, it's EDI, it's EDI. The people who they would probably want to vouch for more so and saying they will be more deserving are in parts of Britain where the numbers of black people are significantly low. And this is a guy who was born and grew up in Clapham. Right?
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We have a nice panel here. We have Isaac and we have Black Rob also on the panel. Isaac, what are we saying? Good morning.
Hope everyone's having a nice day. I can tell Eman's having a fantastic day.
As always, man.
At the perceived downfall of this.
Focus, bro.
Yeah, focus, man. I'll lock you off immediately.
Oh, here we go. Can I talk? Am I talk?
Please focus.
Thank you. Yeah, at the perceived downfall of this black academic, the gentleman who was in the car did comment on one of my videos on the topic, asking me to watch his video. That's the first time I've watched any of his videos. And yeah, I understand why I didn't look into it. So you're telling me that any brother who's pushed past 40 from ends can just post a video saying that, oh, I knew the Ardays and this is my testimony, and we just take it at face value? Like, what are we doing here? How susceptible are we to? Sorry?
I said that's exactly what Christy said.
No, I'm big up Christy and big up you too, Gina. Like, how susceptible are we to misinformation? Who was this on? He didn't even mention the primary school.
Did you see the clips?
So
yeah, he did. He did in the end, yeah, and I think it was the third one.
I remember as well. For Jason's professorship, his academic card to be pulled, right? That's due to academic misconduct, which is very separate to any inflammatory achievements that he's claimed to have made and whatnot. In my opinion, and I haven't looked into it too much because frankly I don't care. Is he a liar? Perhaps. I don't know him personally. The people who've met him, who I've gotten first-hand testimony from, say that he's a nice guy. Does that mean anything? Not particularly. Could he be a pathological liar? Maybe. I don't care, because we're talking about him as a professor and his card being pulled in that regard and academic misconduct from it. And you'll find that many of the people who will find this funny in any capacity, who will be sort of pushing this argument of like, oh, how this affects all of us. It doesn't affect all of us. It will predominantly and most drastically affect Black academics or people seeking to pursue academia in that manner. And is there a negative effect as a result? 110%. 110%. People, again, this is first-hand information. People who are Black in the field of sociology right now are that. I mean, I had one person on live that I did. They said that like it's burning down because social science already is because people appreciate STEM a lot more. STEM gets a lot more money, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I am in STEM, that being said. Yeah, people don't take sociology seriously. So Jason being black, reaching this level of status in this field, like, okay, I've got a lot of things to say. I need to like make them concise. The foundation of Jason being attacked is racist. That is undeniable. Nathan COFNAS is a race realist, as Iman highlighted, that believes that black people don't belong in these levels of academia because we're inherently inferior to other ethnic groups, right? So if you find yourself celebrating or reveling in Jason's downfall and you are black, you are racially insecure. That's not okay. I would advise that you deal with that. I think Jason would have had some level of academic prowess to reach this level of status. That is completely undeniable. I think if we're going to attack Jason for any academic misconduct, which, as far as we know, is unfounded still, because Liverpool John Moores maintained their stances that he didn't do anything wrong in terms of his thesis, and Cambridge were previously backing him, but have since started an investigation, but we don't know the outcome of that. Jason is still of professorship level / experience, and that's what we should maintain until otherwise.
Maintain in what way?
In the sense that he's gotten his PhD legitimately, as far as we can tell, and worked in academia, put sweat into the game, and acquired a professorship role at one of the most world-renowned universities, and has resigned, which shouldn't necessarily be perceived as an acceptance or admittance of guilt. He's resigned citing wanting to focus on his family and too much stress as a result of all of this, this whole debacle, which is understandable. Again, and I think one thing that was maybe lost in me trying to be neutral, not trying to sway anyone's stance, when this most recent bout of plagiarism came about, and again, this is only my opinion, right? I wanted to vindicate my stance in my inherent desire to want to defend Jason. And you could easily do this if you care enough, especially if you're of the thought that, oh, there's no way of anyway, if you have whatever stance you have, if you're polarizing that, it would be worth your while. You can download Jason's thesis. You can download the person he allegedly plagiarized his work from, Paula Zwodziak-Myers, and then you can compare it. In my subjective stance of comparing the theses, there is evidence of plagiarism. That is my opinion. I have no vested power to assign guilt of academic misconduct. That would be up to Liverpool John Moores University and whatever would constitute as plagiarism for them. I think there was like you briefly passed it earlier where you were talking about what would constitute as plagiarism. Let's say Gina wrote an article, Gina 2023, right? Or Gina et al. 2023. And I decided to cite a sentence or a portion or a paragraph from Gina's work. If whether I cite and reference it appropriately, if I copy Gina's work word for word in any capacity, that is plagiarism. Whether that makes up 50% of my report, whether it makes up 1% of my report, that is still plagiarism. So it's up to the plagiarism detection software how competent it is to be able to find that, and then whether the awarding institution would investigate further, or whether they would withdraw his PhD or not allow him to get it in the first place. With that being said, I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. This is good so far. With your investigation, were you able to actually see exactly what was copied from these two documents?
Yeah, it's not particularly hard to do. I do want to do a further video on it, but I don't like the way the conversation's going. I'm not. I don't want to put more wood
I understand.
in the fire. Jason copied word for word, like paragraph sentences, word for word.
Word for word?
misspelling for misspelling, citation for citation. There's no going around it. And I've spoken to people in sociology to kind of get their takes on it as to like, because it is different to STEM how you'd write up your thesis slightly.
So I respect the fact that it is that you haven't come out on public platforms to basically share this, given your claims. Now, I'm choosing to believe.
What was Andrew's comment then?
Wait.
I'm confused.
Let me finish. I choose to believe you. You said something. I ain't seen it.
Don't believe me. Don't believe me. But that's the thing. The reason why I looked into it.
Let me finish.
Okay,
so I'm choosing to believe you in this particular moment because I'm thinking you ain't gonna come and lie, right? But I've learned my lesson. People be lying. You understand? So I respect the fact that it is that you haven't gone on your same platform and said this, but you did guide people to do this themselves if it is that they want to do, right?
Yes.
So the white man that was saying in the clip that we played that the accusations of plagiarism is absolutely unfounded, right? And it was just a mistake.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
And is this the same documents that we talk about?
Yeah, this is like
the same
from
one.
The university repository. You can access it. Anybody saying that it is unfounded has not done the due diligence. I'm biased, right? I have as a budding Black academic, I have vested interest in Jason's success because this brings more people to pursue academia. This makes it less of a toxic space for me to exist in and allows me to see more people like myself in this space, right? And there are plenty of organizations that are making it so that to increase the presence of Black people and success of Black people in academia.
History Matters, which I'm a part of.
To mention System UK, Black Female Academics Network, Black PhD Collective, and Black Doctoral Network, just to name a few. There are quite a few. That's just some that I've worked with or attended their events in the past. Jason's done a lot of damage. It goes without saying. But that being said, if Jason's going to be attack Liverpool John Moores University. This is unsponsored, but I'm going to be saying this for the rest of the time. If you are somebody who is keen in the field of sociology to pursue that to doctoral level, hit up Liverpool John Moores University. They're giving out discounted PhDs. If Jason is to be attacked in any capacity, attack his supervisors as well. Attack Liverpool John Moores University and attack Cambridge. Because this is the system, this is the pipeline that failed, that allowed him to assume this position in the first place.
Yeah.
But that being said, that is all if Cambridge decide to acknowledge any academic misconduct. And then now Liverpool John Moores have to walk back their stance as well. Because of course, these institutions were biased in the first place because any wrongdoing found to have been committed by Jason would also speak poorly of them, but somehow they've managed to keep all the accountability to be taken on him.
Yeah, can I jump in?
Pause 1 second. Isaac, thank you very much. Don't go anywhere, please. Black Rob, good morning.
Morning, guys.
What are we saying?
Yeah, Isaac kind of threw me off. I didn't expect him to say that at the end, so because he was in defense, but then at least he was impartial enough to kind of be honest about the plagiarism. One thing I want to say is that I think this was a mutually beneficial relationship. You have to really harken back to maybe a decade ago when DEI was at its highest and there was lots of funding for like initiatives and stuff like that. So this is all speculation, but I think this was a mutually beneficial relationship. He had the story that you make movies out of, etc. And Cambridge wanted he was brought on as an academic, but he was really a mascot.
Why are you
laughing?
Because he lied.
No, but it's true though. But I get it.
Yeah, it was at the back
He was really a mascot. He was really a mascot. Look at this guy. Look at his story. Look at that. We can make books.
If Nathan COFNAS says that, what then? If Nathan COFNAS, because you
sorry, Isaac. Black Rob, are you okay with him going back and forth with you whilst you talk?
Let me speak for a little bit, then you can come back.
All right, cool. Sorry, Isaac.
I think he was really a mascot, and so they cut corners to let him through because they liked the story, in my opinion. And he got away with a lot of erroneous claims without it being vetted because they wanted him in there so badly so that they could point to him as whenever there was any anything raised about, oh, you're a DI or you're not doing this for this community or that community, they'll be like, look at this guy. How can you say that when we've got this guy here? So, but the problem with that is that when the tide turns and now maybe these type of initiatives are no longer as favorable, they're like, okay, we have no need for the mascot. And what Isaac said is true. I'll use an example. When an NFL team wants to get rid of a high paid player, but he's still in contract, they do smear campaigns about how he's a bad player to the media so that they can devalue him, so that way they can get rid of him. Because they can't just do it because he's under contract. And that's what I think happened here. Well, they realized that, like, okay, cool. They have to smear him through the media, but he made it easy because half the stuff he was doing was lies, so they didn't even need to make stuff up. It was always there. They smeared him, and then now it's easy for him to. Now he has to quit rather than them having to get rid of him. So all this stuff was there. They probably knew about it, but they were like, he's useful to us. And then when the usefulness no longer like paid dividends, they're like, okay, we can get rid of him now, and they do it through the media. So it was mutually beneficial, and when it stopped becoming mutually beneficial, they got rid of him. And at the end of the day, he was, as much as he's to blame for this, as Isaac said, you also have to blame the institutions, but they will not get no blame because of the way that he's been attacked so much that all the onus is on him rather than, wait a minute, how did they let him in the first place? That discussion is never going to be had. So I do agree with him. It's
not going to be had
Isaac
because you lot add into it. That's why it's not going to be had. Because you lot are targeted,
Yeah, exactly.
are piling on. So of course it's not going to be had. We're jumping up, taking the man in the van's thingy. Of course it's not going to be had.
So Chrissy,
yeah, but that's the game you play in it. If you've got skeletons in your closet, it is in every industry. It's the same. Look at politics. If a black man like Chuka Muna, if you're trying to get to the top, if you're trying to become prime minister and there's some sort of skeleton in your closet, best believe the people above you know about it. Maybe they're just letting you live. But if you try and get too high, they'll be like, yo, chill out. It's not your turn, and this is gonna make you sit down. That's why the most dangerous people are the people that there's no envelope on them on them doing anything mad. Do you know what I'm saying?
So can I say, before anything came out, all the things that Isaac mentioned, those groups who are black-led groups like PhD, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure scrutiny was on them before all this. I'm sure like there has been scrutiny on these type of people before all this, right? I'm not saying that this has not made it worse. It has. But my thing is, scrutiny was always going to be there, always with us. So for me, it's just like this now is just like a confirmation bias.
But isn't that a bit contradictory? Because if the scrutiny was always there, then how did Ardy get in that position in the first place? If there's always scrutiny on us.
See, now that's the perfect. That's what the racists now say. How
I'm asking a question.
Fantastic, and you get an answer. There are systemic barriers in place that make it so that not as many of us, relative to our percentage, our population in this country, make it into academia. So when Jason is able to get to that position and he's able to cite, we have this plethora of professors, some of which I'll name because they do not get enough celebration. Associate Professor Geraldine Brown, Assistant Professor Ola Osman, Associate Professor Natalie Darko, Professor Bernadine Idowu Onubuku, Associate Professor Georgina Cox, Professor Lisa Byron Morris, Professor Yoselin Benitez Alfonso, Professor Patricia Kinguri, and somebody who is very near and dear to my heart, Dr. Sandra Apia, who recently changed positions but has been instrumental to me becoming who I am. Isaac Gardner Thorough be my name.
Come on.
What's it? They cite these academics that are still able to make it through and be like, oh, it can't be that bad if these lot are here. But when you now speak to these lot, they're now talking about how toxic the environment is, how tough it was making it there. And what we do as a community, we celebrate these people, right? We celebrate the hardworking, the strong black woman. Why don't we question why she had to be strong?
Yes.
Because
I think we had a discussion about black exceptionalism.
You have to let him finish his thought before you jump in. Sorry, Isaac.
Sorry.
I couldn't hear. There was a lot of talking, but yeah, these characteristics that we have to be able to thrive in these spaces, not just academia and these positions that you don't usually see a lot of us in. This is the same rhetoric that the racists say. In my opinion, calling Jason a mascot has racial insecurity undertones. Like I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't cite that. for you to become a professor, right, you have to brush past, you have to exist in community with other established professors. They G-check you. This is academia. That is what it is G-checking, right? For example, in my project, anytime I'll present, anytime I'll go to a conference, anytime I'll show my data, right, I have these professors, associate professors, whatever have you, poking holes at it, and I need to protect that idea. I need to understand the basis enough to defend it, to justify the university spending money here, right? Jason, to be able to not only survive but thrive in academia, there has to have been some prowess. Otherwise, his card would have been pulled far before that. So referencing to him as a mascot, as a joke man in any capacity, is dead wrong in my opinion, and adds wood to the fire that the racists are stoking and have been stoking.
All right, stay right there. Wait a minute, K Price. Wait a minute. Keep your thought, please. Good morning, King's Mono.
Morning, sir. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored.
Big up, Andrew. We say, man.
How you doing, sir?
All
Long
good, all
time.
good. Yes. Please educate us, man. What's your opinion on this?
Okay, so I have a take. I'm not going to harp on like it's some super insightful or educated take. At the end of the day, we're just all observing this from the outside and taking as much information as we can to form our conclusions. But I will say this: I did a live stream on this subject yesterday, and I've looked at what's gone around in the media, because that's essentially what we're all speculating from. A lot of it is just media. And I came across a very interesting interview by Dr. Kende Andrews, who I mentioned earlier, and he is a PhD. He's the head of Black Studies at, I can't remember which university. And say again?
Is it Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham. It's BCU, I believe, but they've shut down the course.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. But yeah, so he is obviously a PhD and he is a supervisor. He's marked multiple PhDs, and he highlights the fact that the investigation into Dr. Jason Arday's, and we've got to call him doctor because he does have a PhD, and that hasn't been refuted. It doesn't need to be taken away from him, even though he's stepped down from his professorship. I don't think we should disrespect him and take away all of his titles. But he's looked at the paper, and he looked at it before the controversy kicked up. Also, on top of that, multiple other PhDs have looked at it. Cambridge did do their own investigation and look at it as well. And the claims of plagiarism are unfounded, okay? It's not plagiarized. Now, the only issues that they raise with the paper itself is that there are referencing inconsistencies, and that talks about, I think that more refers to the style of referencing. And I know someone's mentioned earlier that, there was word for word taken. I haven't read the papers, so I'm not going to try and get into a back and forth with this, but I will take the argument of multiple existing standing supervisors saying there is no, there's no claim to be made in terms of plagiarism. It's not plagiarized. The accusation they did say, or at least the criticism they had with the paper, is that it wasn't great. So they all raised their hands and they said it wasn't great, but that's more to do with Liverpool John Moore's not actually correctly, having a supervisor there to correct his work and to give him feedback. Because he said, essentially, the argument he was making is that no one submits a perfect PhD. PhDs aren't all works that you could put straight into publishing, okay? A lot of them will be submitted with errors. These should be picked up by the supervisor, but where it hasn't been picked up by the supervisor, the fact of the matter is this is not uncommon either. So it's very common that people will submit substandard, PhD thesis and still get through and still get their PhD. They still done the work. They still committed themselves to something that's going to add to, global, common knowledge, so to speak. And that's what grants them a PhD. So this is a witch hunt. As far as I'm concerned, from the data that we have, it's a witch hunt. And when they found that they couldn't get the satisfactory kind of like, they couldn't string him up satisfactorily by just having the plagiarism claim, they moved on and they started literally going through his entire backstory with a fine-tooth comb, trying to find inconsistencies everywhere. And we're not talking about, them referencing his CVs here. They're referencing everything. They're referencing online, social media, they're referencing his website, they're referencing things that were said in television shows. It's like no one is able to present a super consistent kind of like, in terms of like people's lives. It will always sound contradictory. Who hasn't changed their CV over time? By the way, I'm not saying that he hasn't at times embellished and lied. I don't know enough to say that he has or he hasn't. But what I'm talking about here is that this is a classic witch hunt. That's exactly what this is. And I guarantee you, Cambridge, not just Cambridge, Oxford, they got far more standing professors right now who have far more sketchy pasts, and if you was to put their their entire backstory through the same kind of speculation that we're putting the Dr. Arday's through, they would come out looking far worse. Far worse. You know, we got far more, white DEIs, nepotism hires in Oxford and Cambridge than we have black ones. And this is what this all is. And this is why, for me personally, I think as black people, we shouldn't be participating in this. If we're going to have this discussion, we need to have it separately. We need to have it as a community entirely separately from, trying to, kind of say, oh, let's be fair here. We have to hold our community to accountability. It's kind of like, no, these people have completely different desire, completely different outcome. They want completely different things from this. They're trying to stop black people from being able to even get into these positions. We can't be, standing shoulder to shoulder with these literal demons who are trying, I'm just thinking about all of the black academics that I know, what they've been through. And I know several PhDs, and they've all been through like hell to get those qualifications. And I'm sure Jason Arday is included in that. I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to get where he got to. And then to have now the fact that they're going to face additional scrutiny and they're going to be looked at like the job that they got, which they had to work 10 times harder to get, is now looked at like a job that they were granted because they were black. It's just such a frigging insult. So sorry, I've ranted on a little bit. I just wanted to share a few of those points.
Thank you very much. Please, can you just wait until Isaac responds to that?
Certain man would do not free up the murderers.
Who's that?
No, I'm just saying, people just.
What's the feedback?
But isn't that why we should come down as a ton of bricks?
Sorry, Black Rob. Apologies. All right, Isaac. Remember, I said I choose to believe you. Obviously, Dr. Kane Andrew says it's unfounded, the plagiarism, but you're saying that it was word for word and the errors were also copied word for word?
Yes, I stand by that. Again, I understand that people are biased. I acknowledge my bias, but I'm not a fool. And if you want to sort of chain your academic career or the survivability of it, as it were, to this situation, then by all means. The only reason why I started making videos because on the topic, because I saw the same female academics that I hold in high esteem putting their positions at stake by supporting Jason, which of course they're entitled to. And then after seeing the evidence, right, that could speak to plagiarism, and again, it's subjective as to whether one assigns it as plagiarism or not, right? I couldn't keep silent, but that being said, I'm not going to refer to the man's character. I don't know him. So the lies, the statements and whatnot, they don't bear any correlation to his academic standing. Like, there are plenty of academics who lie. And also, for the vast majority of cases, especially when Iman mentioned William O'Reilly, right, that level of plagiarism, why is he still in position? Why wasn't that blown out of proportion the same way that this has been in? Like, academia is not what people believe it is, in the sense that people are not cheating. There's a lot of cheating going on, and a lot of supervisors give advice to their PhD students that your thesis is something that after you defend it, no one will really look through it again. So, like, put your heart in it, but don't stress too much about it.
Thank you.
May I respond to that?
Yes, please.
I just want to ask a question, because like I said, I'm quite open about the fact that I haven't read his PhD. I literally just got into the subject. But can I ask, is, from what you saw, you're saying word for word, you've obviously differentiated between him referencing, because like I said, the accusation that was brought is that the referencing was poor, and this is something that's normally picked up by a supervisor. So is there, and I'm just asking you the question, is there a possibility here that you are conflating referencing with kind of like trying to pass off work that isn't your own as your own, which is what plagiarism is, not necessarily just quoting somebody?
Good question. As I mentioned earlier, if Gina published a paper, Gina et al. 2023, and I correctly referenced it, correctly cited it, but copied a sentence, a paragraph, word for word, that is plagiarism, right?
That's not true.
So that, yes, that is plagiarism. Again, and like, I don't like, and I try to have patience with people, right? Excuse me. I try to have patience with people, especially people who aren't in academia, right? What possesses you to have that stance or to refute that? What I've just said is that Gina has written something. Gina has something.
That's a quotation.
Yes. No. Again, and I would have said quotation. And again, what I've said, the excuses that people are trying to throw, I am biased. I don't want this to be true. I don't know how much emphasis I need to put on that.
I just want to get it clear that what you
So what I'm saying is
word that is plagiarism, and I just push back to say that isn't plagiarism, because that can be a quotation, which is what my initial question was. You can quote someone work
in this context, in the context that Jason has done it, it is not quotation, and it doesn't matter what part of the thesis that this is in. This is plagiarism. Yes, he has cited her.
I agree with that. That's what that was my question was about.
Yes, he has cited her. Yes, he has referenced her. But unfortunately, there are parts which he has not done, and he's copied word for word, citation for citation. And sociology, or I think people write differently, have different styles, right? When I write, or any writing that I've seen in STEM, when you cite, you don't put your citations in the middle of the sentence. Maybe sociology is different. I don't know, right? These are citations that are exactly in the same place. Like this is not up for argument. So I can acknowledge and respect the biases of people who continue to stand by him and big you up, right? But you have to acknowledge that when this grenade inevitably goes off, that you will get hit by the shrapnel as well, and it will affect your career. It will affect your ability to get funding for your research. And if you're happy to do that, then by all means.
But I guess to respond again, sorry, wouldn't you say that, look, like I said, Dr. Kehinde Andrews didn't make this up. He's read Dr. Arday's paper multiple times, and he didn't do it in isolation. You can view the interview now if you want to.
What did Dr. Kehinde say that he did? So you're saying that he said he read it?
Yeah. So he.
Do you think that you could be able to determine?
One more.
Go ahead.
No, I gotta say he read it as a supervisor, but not only him, multiple PhDs and the Cambridge Review Board. So it's not like it's been read by one person. They've all came out, at the end of this, inquest, so to speak. They've all came out and they've said this does not constitute plagiarism. So I guess my point is, I'm not a supervisor. And once again, I'm not going to try and profess that I am a supervisor. So I'm not a supervisor. I don't have the ability to mark someone's PhD. But it's clear that at the end of this, they've decided this doesn't constitute plagiarism. So the point being, or at least the question being, is there a degree of flexibility when it comes to a PhD because of its length? So this isn't just like obviously, a 1,500 word paper. This is a 400-500 word book often, because of its length, that they have a degree of flexibility. Paragraph here, paragraph there doesn't constitute the entire thing. What's been done in this context doesn't constitute plagiarism. Perhaps it's more common what you're kind of citing as plagiarism when it comes to the submission of a PhD thesis. Perhaps it's more common than what you're suggesting, because of the simple fact that these are supervisors and they've said he hasn't plagiarized. No one's putting their reputation on the line here. This has gone through due process. It's not like, there's no independent investigative journalist that's marking his paper any better than actual PhDs can, and they've come out and they've said no, this doesn't constitute plagiarism. That's my point. So it's kind of like, the battle's been lost on that front. Move on to something else because the plagiarism claim is unfounded.
Isaac?
Again, I don't. It's hard to respond because I acknowledge my bias, and unfortunately, again, this isn't a shade to anybody, to King's Mono or anybody in particular. Other people are failing to do so. The two things are not mutually exclusive. It is a racist witch hunt, and they have found credible evidence. And we'll see what Cambridge find as far as their investigations. I hope, because I was surprised that Jason resigned, because I was thinking, oh, is this going to be like at least in my lifetime, the biggest or most famous point of actually no, maybe that's a bit inflated, but black male privilege. Like, this is just a fantastic example of black male privilege that I would say I would have seen, especially in academia, that institutions that historically don't have a knack of supporting black academics, just putting their foot down and be like, nah, we're biased behind this brother and we're going to make sure that he maintains his position. I think Jason caught... Go ahead.
Oh, so I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to finish your point. Sorry about that.
That's okay, go ahead. I'll remember.
No, I was going to say, I find that statement ironic. I always find it funny when people say black male privilege, but I find that statement ironic because do you not think a part of the motive for Cambridge not making a big song and dance about this is because they acknowledge that this kind of nepotism, this viewpoint, this perspective that people have of academia being this place of, complete, academic, in terms of like what's been integrity. Everything's perfect and everything's above board and everybody's done these amazing, publishable level. Do you not think that their faculty is rife with individuals with exactly the same backstory as Jason Arday? This is the exact reverse of black privilege. This is the exact reverse of black privilege, and is actually once again another story of white privilege, in that he's being made the scapegoat for what is normal practice, that people submit substandard PhDs and get their PhDs anyway, that people get through to their positions using nepotism, that white men just wally into a position having no experience and then go, you know what, I like the cut of your jib, I'm going to give you a try. That's what the white male experience is. A lot of these white academics walk into their positions, just like they do in vocational world. They walk into their positions. They have no experience. They have no, they have no interesting backstory. They just have a white man interviewing them who thinks that they'll be really good in that position, and so they give them a try. Yeah. So I don't think.
Not yet, please.
Me personally.
Sorry, continue, please, Andrew.
I was gonna say, I don't think this is this was done out of some kind of like DEI, quote unquote, DEI, expression of we're gonna protect the black male because he's black and he's under attack. I don't think it's a case of that at all. I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's a case of the fact that, okay, look, at the end of the day, this happens all the time. They know that this is a witch hunt, and they're just literally doing what is like the bare minimum that would be done for any white person who's been going through a similar thing. It's like, what are you talking about? He didn't plagiarize. Can we move on, please? I don't think, yes, I just think it's the exact reverse of what you said. But I appreciate your point regardless.
I think you're right to a certain extent. What I would chime in and add is that we're not privy to that privilege, as it were. So unfortunately, and this partly explains my bias towards black academics, that for you to have passed or to exist, survive in this field, you have to have overcome these systemic barriers. So your excellence precedes you. So that is always the frame of thinking that I'll assign, right? Absolutely. So, and again, that is what I would have assigned to Jason, but in my subjective opinion, having compared the theses, I have to retract that. But that being said, for him to to reach professorship level, there still has to be significant competence there. we, as Black academics, we have to dot our I's, cross our T's to a much higher level just to be perceived as average in these spaces.
Absolutely.
So there, I do agree that if this standard is to be maintained, if Cambridge are to change their parameters for promoting people internally or receiving people externally as professors, if they do an internal review, they will find that a lot of their current professors are not fully competent as well. But that will not be the case. So that is why that if we want to have more people like us in the space, right, it is now relying on a lot of the Black female academics that I've mentioned before, right, and them being excellent, them being perfect to now exhibit the influence, the culture change. Because again, people have their opinions. This is my opinion. It's the Black female academics that are changing the culture of academia, making it so that women in general, Black women, Black men, are more comfortable and able to thrive in academia as a whole. Black men benefit from patriarchy, benefit from that privilege, and are able to assimilate and don't really do too much in terms of warping the environment so that other people that look like them can exist in the place as well.
Thank you.
Okay. I very much disagree with that final
Well,
point.
hold on to that. Good morning, Cheryl, and good morning, Josh. Cheryl, you were here first. What we saying?
Morning. Sorry, I've got a husky voice this morning.
Is this Dr. Cheryl?
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Are you alright? This is Dr. Cheryl.
She didn't have it in the name, and I keep telling her she needs to basically
No,
help me out.
no,
Help me out, yeah? Put doctor in your name, please.
Properly, Dr. Cheryl. Thank you.
Yeah. Proper doctor and that. Go on.
So Arday is like one of the researchers I heavily cited throughout my own thesis. So I want to make 2 points. And his research looks predominantly at systems of race and systemic racism. We know that there are a lot of white academics that want to actually disprove that systemic racism is a thing. And the way science works is we have to prove that it's a logical, scientific, and peer-reviewed topic, or there's a theoretical framework that can prove this thing for us to acknowledge that it exists. Once we acknowledge something exists, then we can address it, we can dismantle it, we can do all of these things. And I think there's a wider agenda around, aside from him being a Black man, the content of his work, I think, has been a massive motivating factor to disprove racism or discredit systemic racism. So that, especially in the UK, it's a massive issue in the UK where it's hidden, where it's not acknowledged. That's part of a wider agenda to discredit a theoretical framework that supports systemic racism. Hence why I can't remember the guy's name that has made these accusations in the first place, but he's spent a lot of time trying to discredit critical race theory. Critical race theory is one of the things that really highlights and breaks down what systemic racism is, why it exists. And Arday's work comes off the back of that, but it looks at it in a UK context. That's one. And then to a previous point that was being made about plagiarism, and how plagiarism, if someone copies and pastes someone's work word for word, that is plagiarism. It depends on the referencing system that's being used. So personally, for me in academia, I've done a master's, I've obviously done an undergrad, and I've done my doctorate.
Come on.
And
Dr. Cheryl, be careful. They might question you now.
No, it's a real thing. Like
they'll start a witch hunt on you now.
No, but it's a thing. So even with my doctoral research, because it looked at race, I got a lot of questions, a lot of criticism. I went through a process called a Viva, which is essentially where they kind of interview about your work. That was hell. It's a thing. It's there. They're going to criticize you anyway when you look at these topics. But when I did my different qualifications, we used Harvard referencing, and there are rules and stipulations about the type of referencing you use. So in psychology, you can use APA referencing, Harvard referencing. There's different types of referencing you can use. And within Harvard referencing, it is perfectly acceptable to cut and paste quotes or other people's work as long as it's cited and referenced correctly. So you use your quotation marks, then you put the citation to make it very clear. I've copied and pasted. I've lifted this piece of work out of somebody else's work, and then you write your analysis or your reflection on whatever you've done. Personally, I don't see that as plagiarism. You're making a point, you're including someone else's work within your work. If you think about research, a lot of it, while there are original ideas in it, you have to write your introduction, you have to write a background into that, and that's based on the work other people have done. So I don't see how that constitutes as plagiarism. And then on top of that, the accusations of plagiarism were found to be unfounded as well. There's something about how people understand what plagiarism is and the rules and the stipulations around that, and that was found to be unfounded. Yeah, that's essentially it. Those are the 2 points that I wanted to make. I think there's a wider agenda here, and there are rules around plagiarism. If it was found to be unfounded, then I don't think it's fair to say, this guy's plagiarized his work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cheryl. Good morning, Josh. What are we saying?
Morning, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I was gonna kind of like get into, because I'm obviously, as you all guys all know, I'm not an academic here, but I agree that academia is full of corruption, but the mechanisms of things like DEI, for example, they automatically put you under sort of scrutiny straight away, which is why it would probably, this is the argument I would say would come from black people who are against DEI, because it automatically puts you in a slightly different system than the normal system. So even if, for example, I kind of disagreed with the King's monologue point that a white man can just walk in, but he also agrees that there's nepotism at the same time. It's like it's one or the other. Do you know what I mean? Nepotism is a mechanism so that it might be easier for white people when they go in a room, but it's an unfounded assumption to say that just because you're white, in the system that we have, just to go back to the DEI thing, black people are always going to be looked at as if they don't have the credentials, when this guy likely does, simply because we have those mechanisms in place in the first place. And it makes it look like, even if you did all of the harder work, that you got through on an easier system, because it was made lower for you to get in. The barrier of entry is now lower. And especially with the type of work that he does, it's just like a sort of a positive feedback loop. He's doing work to prove why his job and position is justified. And then there's a whole set of positions that allowed him to get there in the first place that people can now refer to, because he was a golden boy for it, which is why, to go back to Christie's, like, why are we talking about this in the first place, is because they made a big point about him specifically. It's like, it always pulls this into question when it's like, if we got rid of those systems completely and we made one system for entry, then that's how you actually compete. And then, like I said earlier, you just go back to Eman's channel and people who are teaching, like yourself, King's Monologue, and you as like future PhDs who are just doing the hard work, wouldn't consider yourself needing of a system like DEI, and then you're just smashing it up that way. And again, these are in systems that you want to be a part of. You want to go to Cambridge for the benefits that come with Cambridge. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just educating neutrally.
Sorry, question.
Does that make any sense?
Can I respond?
Sorry,
Yes, you will be able to. Just let me hear Christy.
He said systems of DI. Correct. I need someone to be. I didn't realize there was a different. They lowered the bar with DI. I'm confused.
Well, that's exactly. It's about quotas, though. It's about.
No. Can I say? Is there? So if now, for instance, Professor Arday has now applied for this job. They gave him like an easier interview technique. They gave him a different mode of operations. What did they do in terms of DAI that he went through that is now lowering? Is actually he entered a system of DAI? I need that to be clarified, please.
Yeah. I think that's where we have a misunderstanding, and we apply sort of the wider concept of DEI and misplace it in it. Because I'm not saying that he specifically had a more difficult or less difficult interview. I'm saying that it's easier to question it because we're in an environment where we're constantly talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Not that those things aren't, like, they shouldn't be a thing anyway, but that we need to make sure that we're meeting them. And in that way, when other people like the racist guys that you guys would reference would say, well, this is not credible, this is where the founding comes. And even all of the people in the chat right now that are saying, well, they found reasons to be scrutiny based on his work. It's like, well, if you had that scrutiny in the beginning, how did he get there? It's easier to question it if you have that system. I'm not saying that he did or didn't. I'm just saying with the mechanism there, it kind of just makes it easier for people to scrutinize, as opposed to there's just one door for entry.
And again, did he just get? So are we saying he just basically got hired because he's black, and that was the DI in there? Is that what we're saying?
I'm saying
they didn't check anything. They didn't just was like, yeah, well, because he's a representative, we're gonna put him in this position. Is that what is being said?
No. What I'm saying is like that, along with all of the wild stories that he comes with, and the whole, because it's like we can't pretend like there's no PR gone into this one youth. Like there's plenty other people that are probably more credible than him, that probably have a different political ideology, that sort of could have been propositioned, but they propositioned this guy. And I'm a person who's like, for example, Rob said, and he probably didn't mean this, but you know when he was on the screen earlier and he said, oh, he's flaming up my spot. He's like, no, we all know that these people are designed to be there. Camera 4's on you now. Cool, get ready to speak. I've got a piece in your ears. It's like it's all planned. Like none of this stuff is by happen chance, innit? So it's like he is the golden boy because of whatever media system wanted to make it a thing. The fact that it's now come and foiled him is a progression of that. But I'm not really. It's the easier way to scrutinize these people, because he didn't come out of nowhere, Christy. That's more so what I'm saying. Him specifically.
Andrew.
I think. Thank you. I think the question that Christy had, and I had the same question, is that we need to be very clear. You've made you've made a claim about DEI there, and straight away, as someone who has interviewed multiple black academics, and I have a point about the reason why they all fall into kind of like some area of black studies, but we'll come into that later. But the question I want to ask you is, are you able to articulate exactly what DEI he benefited from? What kind of, because you have to be specific, because we're talking about, essentially an initiative.
What I was
saying,
saying,
that's an initiative.
I wasn't saying that. Just to clarify, I wasn't saying, and I clarified that twice. I said, I'm not saying whether he did or didn't. I'm saying because of the mechanisms that exist, it is easier to say that that might have been the result. It's easier to point at those things so that because I'm not, remember, bro, I'm not coming up with that, it's not that idea that this is DI is not coming from me. I'm a layman. I'm a person who's watching that as it is perceived through the media, which is what you started with, right? So these things are all being thrown out, and it's harder to question because that mechanism exists. If it didn't exist, it wouldn't be a question. It wouldn't be in the conversation, is what I'm suggesting.
That's not true. What I'm suggesting to you is that what you're saying is actually not true. The reverse is true. It's actually much harder for black people to progress. So the mechanisms of DEI, even though most black people on here will ask, what the hell is that? Because I've never benefited from it. But the supposed mechanisms of DEI, or EDI, as it should be called in the UK, they certainly do not exist once you proceed past further education. They don't exist. And the point I was going to make to substantiate this is because a lot of, if you know black
saying they don't exist is ridiculous. They do, because we're having this conversation. They obviously do. I don't have the answer. I can continue to do the research.
I'm saying we're having this conversation because of bias. Let me finish my point. So the reason black PhDs end up all having theses that are centered around black studies is because they don't get PhD grants for doing anything else. They get blockaded. So the reason why, and I know multiple. Yeah,
that's an allegation.
That's not an allegation. That's from word of mouth.
And it's anecdotal. That's an anecdote.
But it's not anecdotal.
And I could qualify the opposite, though. I could qualify the opposite, though. Yes, I could. Of course, I could.
Okay, so you know black. So you know black people with PhDs that can tell you that they haven't been blockaded and they've been able to do general studies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my point is that a majority of black people who end up doing something to do with race. Let me finish my point really quickly. Something to do with critical race theory, etc., etc. They had to do that because they weren't being granted PhDs in to do like more general studies. Okay. In fact, people have been literally directly blockaded. And I'm not speaking anecdotally. I could name people, but I'm not going to name them. In fact, I could name someone right now. I can name someone right now who's related to someone on this podcast who went to do an Egyptology degree and was denied and had to do archaeology because they would not let a black man do an Egyptology degree. Okay, I could name loads and loads of people who had to fall into doing critical race theory, some kind of study of this black, that black, because they will not get the same kind of opportunities that white people will get to just literally just do something, right? And when I say I can name someone, I'm talking about the black PhDs that I have interviewed, yeah? And I've interviewed 6 black PhDs from the UK. Some of them paid for their own PhDs. Yeah, paid for their own research because they couldn't find a funding university or funding supervisor. Some of them had to move universities multiple times because of issues. And this is something that's incredibly common. So the thing is, people don't realize how much black academics often, not all the time, but often go through, particularly in the UK, in order to get their qualifications. They literally go through hell to get their qualifications. Cheryl said earlier about having to do her Viva. That's like, yeah, a lot of them go through that. Yeah, a lot of them have to go through that where they have to justify their PhD. These are things that a lot of white academics do not have to go through. You understand? So what I'm saying is, like, people make these judgments and it's like a catch-22. Oh, well, I don't take black studies seriously after all of the black academics are doing black studies to gain their PhDs, but they had to do those subjects. Do you think they wanted to do those subjects? Do you not think they wanted to do something that sat outside of that? No, but they wouldn't have got the PhD had they not done that subject. And the supervisor go, you know what, I think it'd be really good for you. You should do a subject on stereotyping in this Indian, and that's where they'll get it granted. That's what happens. I've had these conversations, and you can say this anecdotal all you want, but these are long conversations with incredibly educated people. These aren't anecdotes. There's not like
they are though. Even if they're educated.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is, like, in the UK, it's not like there's like hundreds of thousands of PhDs. Yeah, it's a very limited field. Excuse me, I have to jump off a call. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Sorry, none of that had anything to do with what I said.
Hold up, Josh. I'm bringing you back into the conversation, yeah, because you've been sat there, and we don't know where you stand. We don't know what your thoughts are. We don't know, because you've heard a lot, right? And it's been great. I love this conversation. I mean, I even love Dr. Cheryl's insight there. Didn't have a clue about that, but hopefully you're not rattled. Go on.
I did want to ask Isaac though, because he said something before. He said that the plagiarism claim is subjective. And I want to know why it's subjective when you've seen it and said to yourself, this is plagiarism. Why is it subjective? Do you get what I'm saying? Why isn't it as clear as what you're saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
The reason why I'd say is because, thanks to Dr. Cheryl for her insights. And again, I would encourage, this is why I gave the instructions as to how anybody, and I'm sure Cheryl would be able to do this or would know this already. You can download the respective theses and compare them with a software or with a website. And this is what the racists did, or Nathan COFNAS and Dave Harris did initially to even start the flagship with this recent claim of plagiarism. It's because the reason why I say subjective is because you would need to read through it or look through the comparisons and decide for yourself whether they're similar enough. Don't trust the percentage. If you're seeing it, this is why you brought the gentleman Jules. As I said, I had a conversation with him. He's since changed his stance only because of the more lies that are coming out in the media about Jason. But I was just like, why were you backing him of academic standing? Like, that's why I said it was pandering, because you were backing him because of the sentiments, and rightly so, that black academics and Jason is being attacked, and it's nefarious. It's due to racism, but you've allowed inconsistencies in his self-proclaimed achievements to deter you from your stance. That doesn't make sense, because we were always talking about academic standing. What? Because he's lied about running 600 miles in 6 days, that means that he's a cheater in terms of academia. That doesn't make sense. So that's why I was saying that was pandering, because if you were that easily swayed, I don't understand why you had a polarizing stance in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say it's subjective, because the sections in question are not quotations.
Yeah.
So again, that's why I say any academic who has a polarized stance, go and look for yourself and make your own opinion. Do not trust what I say. Who am I? You don't know me. Do not trust what the Guardian say for sure, because the reason why I specifically looked into it, because the people who was in support of Jason having plagiarized his work were just showing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The people were showing screenshots of different works, and like, I don't know who's written this article. I don't know what biases they have. I don't even know if this is even part of Jason's thesis. Like, if his thesis is there, why not go look at it yourself?
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, right? But you've again made it clear. You've seen it yourself. You didn't just look at the summary. You didn't just look at the summary of the summary. Sorry, the summary of the software, and just you know what I'm saying 1.2%. You went through it, and you said, "Yo, this ain't. There's no quotations here. This man's copy and pasted." Of course, Dr. Cheryl said, depending on the method or the technique of your sourcing, it's okay, right? But from what you're saying, regardless of the technique, he has copied and pasted. There's mistakes there that's right there. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So my thing is,
what you're suggesting isn't just the citations that were things.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, what are my thoughts on this here?
Yes, and lifted it. You see what I'm saying? And so if for me, you're saying to me, because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm hearing you say, I checked this, I saw this, this is equaling plagiarism. So if anybody has done the same, if anyone does the same thing, I should say.
Dr. Kindi said he did.
Why is it subjective?
No. What King's Mono said, at least what he's quoted, what I can hear him saying is that Dr. Kahinde read it.
Mm-hmm.
If you read someone's work, how do you
know where it got it from? Yeah,
exactly.
It wasn't compared.
Yeah, well, so I don't know whether Dr. Kahinde compared it, but if we're going off of what King's Mono is saying, they just read it. Okay, fantastic, right? And that's why I'm saying it's subjective, because I have no vested power to assign plagiarism. As a budding academic, as somebody who's going to start writing their thesis soon, I would shudder at the thought if any section of my thesis looks that similar to anybody else as well.
But that's what I'm saying to you. And maybe it's because you don't want to. Maybe it's because you don't want to be, you know what I mean, like piling on or whatever it may be, right? But my thing is, if we're all watching the World Cup final, like, I know I can't change the result. But if I'm seeing offside and we look at the camera and it says offside, that's offside. Do you get what I'm saying? You're saying that's plagiarism. Yes, fair enough, this, that, and the third. But that's not a subjective thing here. If the ball's played past this line, you're over there, it's offside. There's nothing subjective about that. So this is what I'm kind of getting at. I just want it to be clear. Like, is it definitely plagiarism? Or is it a thing where, you know what, if somebody with the knowledge that you have, aware of the different ways of sourcing material and aware of how to even write a dissertation, looks at it, it's not any, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing ambiguous about it. It is definitely this.
Again, that's a good question. I think it's very difficult now because I would be in the thought that if I presented these two theses to Dr. Kahinde Andrews without the names and asked him and told him, that this one was published this one was submitted 6 years in advance. Just look through the respective ones. Do you have any evidence of any misconduct that would warrant speaking to the person who is in Jason's position, who has most recently submitted? That's what I would ask. And if he comes out and says no, then fair enough. Because it would be up to each individual's institution as to what would constitute as plagiarism in their regards, right? I don't know if I'm getting feedback or something, but yeah, I'm of the personal thought that based off of what I've seen, I cannot defend it, and I want to. It is in my benefit to. But as I said, I would not allow my work to look like that, and I can't envisage how anybody can defend that. So let's see, take yourself and I, man. We can read. Yeah.
Sorry, just to respond to you. So I had to come off there a moment ago. Dr. Kahinde Andrews didn't just read the paper in isolation. Like I said, he's a supervisor, and if there's a plagiarism claim, He's obviously done the work that you've done. So I think I don't think we needed to make that distinction. I think you're probably aware of that as well.
You definitely
Yes,
do, because we're trusting you as a source. We're trusting
no,
you
not
as a
me.
source. You
I
said he's
Dr.
read
Kane
it.
Andrews, and I told you multiple.
No, we're trusting you
one at a time.
One moment. I didn't isolate Kane Andrews. I said this has gone in front of the Cambridge Committee as well. Okay, they've looked at both the source work and Dr. Arday's work, and they've concluded it's not plagiarism. If it's a plagiarism investigation, unless only an idiot would read the work in isolation of what's being plagiarized. So you don't need to clarify that. We're talking about academics here. Come on, man. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that. The bottom line is the work that you're talking about has been done, and it's been concluded it is not plagiarism. There's an underline beneath that. That's done. The conversation has been moved on from, which is why they've moved on to other topics now. So actually, we're just dredging up old ground here with the plagiarism accusations. So I feel like you found something, but your something has been placed in front of supervisors and experts, and they've said it's not what you think it is. It's not plagiarism. It's poor referencing, and I mentioned some of the things that they talked about, but it's not plagiarism. That's the conclusion of the experts. So we can try and out-expert the experts with our opinions, but the experts say it's not plagiarism.
Question though, Andrew, is there something to gain from these particular experts claiming it isn't plagiarism? Do they have
Clarify.
a bias? Because it was Cambridge.
No.
No?
No, but because even the black professor, even Dr. Kane Andrews, he wasn't out to try and help. You know, he even said he barely knows Dr.
Surely
Arday.
he wants to help.
No. I think his bias is only going to be in the fact that he's a black academic, and he noted that there was a degree of, scapegoating taking place here. He knew that this was a witch hunt. So I think he's acknowledged that, and he's acknowledged obviously this is not usual practice. So one of the things that he's noticed is that this is everything that's happening here in terms of the reaction and the response. This is all exceptional, and everybody here, in the chat, everybody in the general public who are now experts in analyzing doctoral thesis is just hilarious. Okay, because most of these people have never picked up a thesis before. Now, I'm not accusing Isaac of that; he obviously had, but most people hasn't. Picked up a thesis before, and now everybody knows exactly how to identify plagiarism. Like you're outside of your area of expertise. The people who are experts said what's occurred in this paper is acceptable. Okay, so whether or not we like it.
Wait. Let him finish his thought.
I was
sorry.
I hear you. So, question. I have a comment on the screen. It says, "Did Isaac share these two theses in the Discord so we can read?" I want to see it, Emmanuel. Now, my brain is pricked now, because if Andrew is saying one thing, and you know how much I respect Andrew, and you know how much I respect Isaac, and Isaac has read it, but Andrew hasn't. He's leaning on the 100%, and Dr. Kane he's a bad man, right? I want to see it. I want to see it now, right? So can you provide this in Discord, please, Isaac, at some point when you have time?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. What I would say to King Mono's point is that yes, there are a lot of people who are chiming in who are outside of the club, as it were, and you are one of them. So let's acknowledge our stances. Let's acknowledge our experience. The fact of the matter is, can I finish? The fact of the matter is, there are bodies that are saying that this is plagiarism. There are bodies that are also saying this is not plagiarism. Are those respective bodies biased in their standpoints? Yes, most definitely. Right. I have only shared my opinion. That's why I said it is subjective, because Cambridge, as they are actively doing an investigation, and who knows whether Liverpool John Moores might do something as well, right? They can change their stance. It is up to them. Just because I've said something wouldn't influence what stance they have. And remember, it could still be plagiarism to whatever extent, and they decide that it's not substantial enough for them to withdraw his PhD award.
But the question's not about withdrawal of his award.
One second. I don't like that I'm being pigeonholed, and this is why I was like, neutral in my stance when I've been talking about it before and neutral in my videos. I don't like that I'm being like shoehorned into like being forced to have a specific stance. Like this conversation is very nuanced, and you do need to have experience in a lot of different fields to be able to chime in, right? and like the weight of your opinion or your expertise. And I think that people are like overvaluing their thoughts and opinions, which happens with social media.
So sorry, just a quick one, please, quick one.
And then we'll go to
then
Price.
Has he been found to have done plagiarism or not?
No.
I'm so confused.
No, this is not as easy as that. From the Cambridge people and Kehinde, they said unfounded. So that's what is in the public sphere right now. Hence, and you said they've moved on from that and they've looked to find different things with like blah blah blah.
They haven't.
But I want to see what Isaac is saying.
Just, can I just say this? So all the stuff that's come from off the back of that is literally fruit from the poisonous tree. If it's not been founded to be plagiarism, because if he weren't founded, then all this wouldn't even be a talk right now. The pull of the thread of the plagiarism is what's caused the rest of stuff to be questioned, right?
As in the hunt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. In court, this is fruit from the poisonous tree. Because if he's not, then what are we doing here?
No, Chrissy's 100% right, and that is.
Wait. Let's not move on to that just yet, because because we need to move on. But let's not move on to that just yet.
Okay. No.
Because I think we all here agree it's a witch hunt.
Yeah.
We all agree that it's racists
100%.
that are running this.
Yes,
thing.
yes.
100%.
But this particular thing was so interesting to me, hence us fixating on it for a little while, right? I didn't think it would get to this particular point because obviously when Andrew came on, he provided some information and then it sounded as though he was going against Isaac. But I do want to see this evidence, right? So we can move on from here, but I still want Isaac to follow through with what his claims are because I respect Isaac.
Yeah. Can I say one thing though, Isaac? Are you aware of the method in which he referenced though? And could that potentially prove you to be wrong?
Again, same with anybody else who would have done it or who's doing a PhD or has done a PhD. I've had to climb up academia, as it were, in terms of doing bachelor's, master's, whatever have you. Or specifically myself, bachelor's and master's, and then now PhD. Yes, there will be a plethora of referencing or citation styles. And yes, with what Dr. Shell said, if it is quotations that you've cited correctly or referenced correctly, then that is not plagiarism. That is not what has occurred in this thesis.
Okay, cool.
And whether you do your comparison and you, in your opinion, find that, oh, there's plagiarism, it doesn't mean anything. That's why I've said, and I've highlighted that it is subjective, and this is my opinion alone, not backed by any institution. I don't want it to be the case. But that being said, I hope I hope Cambridge, after their investigations, reinstate him. I hope he's not found of any evidence of academic misconduct. I hope that is the case, because that directly benefits me and benefits Black academics.
Thank you.
It's almost like you're saying, I hope they're not competent enough to see what I've seen, and number two, or I hope they just let it go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yes.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Okay.
And we actually do have somebody in the Discord, I think accidental academic, who I've spoken to on TikTok, who is in the field of sociology and would have like much more insight.
Thank you. We have them on the stage.
Oh, is it?
Right now. Good morning, accidental academic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is my first time. Can you hear me okay?
Come on, Brum.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I can't actually hear you very well. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I'm Davina's sister.
Come on.
Big up you. Thank you for calling up.
Yeah, I'm finding it really difficult to hear you. I'm probably doing something wrong. But so yeah, I'm a PhD researcher in the field of. Hello, can you still hear me? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm
a PhD researcher in the field of social sciences. So I'm a sign language interpreter by trade.
Okay.
So
Same.
in the UK, there's about 70,000 deaf British Sign Language users. And out of those, there's only 1,800 interpreters across the whole of the UK. And out of those 1,800, roughly, about 100 or so of us are of colour. So as you can imagine, we're a very small pool. So when I was because I did interpreting at university, undergrad, and then I did my master's in interpreting. And when I was doing my master's and it came time to do my PhD thesis, I was interested in the reason why there's so few of us in interpreting, and even fewer trainers of interpreters. So with regards to Professor Arday's thesis, from my understanding, again, I've spoken to, I was in part of Isaac's live on TikTok recently. And so I haven't read his thesis, but my understanding from other academics that are in the field of social sciences that have read his PhD thesis, they've said that actually it's not a case of plagiarism per se, it's just that he hasn't referenced it properly. So if he's trying to hide the fact that he's stealing someone else's work, why would he reference that person 14 times? So I think what's happened is he might have taken chunks of their work, and what he's done is he's not put a page number or something like that, so he's not referenced it properly. That's one argument. The other stuff about him climbing mountains and running on broken legs and having a brain tumor removed,
You're laughing now,
just
Christine.
his Viva. So with Viva, again, I don't know how much people on the live are aware of what a Viva is and things. So a Viva is like an oral exam at the end of your PhD thesis. So most PhD theses will only be read by your supervisors and then your examiners. So very few people read PhDs, which are kind of got the tail end of what you guys were saying, and in the fact that very few people actually read people's PhD theses. So you'll have that oral defense. They'll then say whether you've got corrections, so that means you need to work on it and it's minor, major, or you haven't passed. It's in this country, it's very unusual to fail a PhD Viva. So that's why everyone's saying, well, he's gotten through those stages already. They were obviously happy with his work. So yeah, so any more questions I'm happy to answer. But has that all made sense?
Yes, it has.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
Can I just say, sorry, just big up. Only on TDA can we get this level of discourse.
Come on.
You're not going to get this level of discourse anywhere else.
Come on.
They're on the bandwagon. They're listening to that man in the van.
Come on.
That's all they're taking their points from. But here you're getting real people who are actually involved in this. So big up TDA each and every time. Each and every time.
Just to say that, because my sister messaged me, she was like, because I'm working at the moment, but my client's quiet, so that's why I've managed to jump on. But she was like, well, because to be honest, most people don't know what it takes to do a PhD, because only 1% or 2% of the world have a PhD. So doing a PhD is not an easy thing. Even if you God forbid, have plagiarized someone else's PhD, it's still work. I'm doing my PhD part-time because I'm working. I'm still working sign language interpreter. I'm a visiting lecturer at the University of Wolverhampton, and I also have 2 children and a husband to entertain. So I'm doing my PhD part-time, and I'm also self-funding because I'm doing my PhD, to be honest, because it's an area I'm really interested in. I'm really loving it, and I wanted to do the research. Because there's even some debates online whether people should be self-funding their PhDs, because it's, my thesis is it's going to be up to 100,000 words. That's a lot of work. Whether I'm not saying it's right to plagiarize, of course, or not, and I wouldn't advocate for that, but I don't think people really understand what a PhD involves. Whether you're in STEM, whether you're in social sciences and humanities, I think the problem we're having here is right-wing media are coming for social sciences any way and any means necessary, and that's what this is stemmed from. Because like I said before, most people don't know what a PhD thesis involves, and most people don't read PhD theses, but all of a sudden you've got everyone now sort of experts in what a PhD is and what Professor Arday's done, and they're not taking into account the fact that any other discipline is just like if we're looking at the World Cup, that they were doing well until they're not, and then suddenly it's not black excellence. So I think the root cause of this is they're trying to come through social sciences specifically, and they've used Professor Arday. They're saying, oh, he's DEI, he's only a DEI hire. But they're still only, out of the 26,000 professors or something, only a tiny percentage are black. So why his PhD specifically, when there's hundreds of thousands of other PhDs that people could be looking at for plagiarism, things like that. So I think we need to be aware of exactly what is going on and why people are all of a sudden so interested, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Totally agree with that.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is why I've always loved Davina, man.
Big up Davina.
Big up Davina and her
all this
sister.
time, you know.
Same.
Crazy. All right, Kid Price, what we saying?
Yeah. Apologies for early. It's just because on my end the connections and sort of cut out, so I thought that was time for interject. There's one area. One area with this that I feel I'm surprised hasn't been touched on in regards to all of this, and it's the fact that this is a case that involves an autistic black man. And something I find with this, in this sort of with these sort of cases, is there's people who feel more comfortable saying certain things if the context is with race compared to disability because they knew it would be insulting. So the reason I also say this is some of these things are doing is to cause doubt as to whether his disability is even real at all. Because, and I've said this, to go by certain people's statements, you would think black people with any kind of disabilities, whether visible or invisible, don't exist. And all we just need in order to do better or to make the world change around, to change our place in the world is a swift kick in the arse. Whereas, say, anybody else, they need more of the time and accommodation and to be listened to in one way or another. As far as, and I also say this as a literature grad myself, because considering, as mentioned before, a lot of courses to do with Black studies and also to do with literature have been rolled back and cancelled, and that is definitely to do with the way they aren't taken seriously or regarded as Mickey Mouse degrees in comparison to STEM. Because low-key, the reason they, especially in previous governments, they were hammering on STEM is because of the so-called difficulty and how much money you can make, but also because they want more people in Britain's tech industry so that they can compete with China. And it's especially frustrating because this is a country that loves to laud its literature canon and the writers that have come from Britain, but as far as its current day writers, they aren't given that regard or respect, especially considering in certain instances people who work in creative fields, or not even just creative fields of writing, but fields where you can use those skills actually net more money than people who work in said fields. And I would also say, in a sense of this does tie into the larger fact of, again, British racism being reflected through immigration policy, not just law. So it's a combination of xenophobia as well as racism. And so it's the case of, you don't belong here. You are basically an alien to this country, and we don't want you corrupting these quote unquote neutral spaces of our institutions. And also the about change that I have noticed, sorry, I have to say, since, let's say the Windrush scandal, where it went from saying, you have no history here, you have no presence, you've only been here since 1948, to suddenly saying, actually, you have been in this, you have had a presence in this country all this time. Look at the contributions that you have made to British society. You've always been here, and then trying to use that to admonish other people to say, why can't you be like them when they were the model minorities? It's all interlinked as far as I am concerned.
Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much.
But I think the ableism angle in this really needs to be addressed and brought up in this discussion.
100%. So glad that we
Can
have you
I
in the
jump on that
community.
point?
Yes, and final thoughts also when it is that you finish that point. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go as quickly as I can. I did want to speak about that because one thing I've noticed about this entire attack on Dr. Arday is it's one of the kind of keynotes of racism, and that's when unexceptional people attack exceptional people. It's one of the things that motivates racism, is that you've got all of these people out there who aren't PhDs, but also haven't really overcome anything in life. And they use this as an opportunity to attack people they see as exceptional and to bring them down. And what you'll notice is a lot of the diatribe about that at the moment will center around his incompetence. They talk about him like he's an idiot, like he hasn't achieved a PhD, you know, like he hasn't done multiple things, like he didn't have to go through an interview process for that professorship. So the whole argument is that he's stupid now. So you have to look at, you know, how this argument has moved on and how it's progressed. They're presenting him as incompetent. And a lot of the arguments that are raised around his unbelievable stories are because, once again, unexceptional people can't do those things. So when the claim is made, oh, he ran 30 marathons in 35 days, well, you're not exceptional, so you haven't done that. Most people haven't run one. So when you hear that someone's run 2 in 35 days, that sounds impossible to you, let alone 30. It doesn't make it impossible. It just means it's just a pattern of your life versus someone who is exceptional. And the reason I'm going to just jump on that point is because my son was born with a speech delay. And then at the age of 7, he was diagnosed to be on the spectrum. He was a very late speaker. He didn't speak till he was like 5 or 6. We sent him to mainstream schools all the way through. We used to support him, obviously. Well, we support him all the way. When he got to high school, they didn't believe he was capable enough to sit the GCSEs. They thought he's no way he's going to get through. He managed to get through, and he didn't only just get through, he got 6 GCSEs, which qualified him for A-levels. Once we decided to put him through for A-levels, they turned around and said, oh, no, he's not smart enough. He's not going to be able to get through A-levels. Maybe we should put him in some vocational studies, whatever. He came out with an A and 2 Bs at A-level. He's now doing a, he's in his 3rd year of his degree at Loughborough University. So the reason I share that story is not to big myself up, but to say that's the kind of story that's not really too far different from Dr. Arday's story, where they'd look at it and go, oh, he's making it up. All these people are talking nonsense. They haven't done any of these things. By the way, my son is also a competitive gymnast as well. That's aside from his degree. He's not doing sports, by the way, but he's also a competitive gymnast. Now, when you have these kinds of individuals in the Black community, and by the way, I look at Dr. Arday's story and I don't go, well, that doesn't sound unbelievable, because I just know a lot of Black people like that. You know, the kind of things that we have to overcome. To a lot of people who aren't Black, they look at that and they go, no, this is impossible. Black people, no single individual can do this. Even if someone like you, Brent, or Iman was to give these people, if you was to gish gallop your life stories and condense them and have it condensed on a page, people would be like, you didn't do that. No way, it's impossible. You know, and that's pretty much everyone on this call. So you have to understand a lot of what we're looking at is through this condensed lens, and it sounds like this guy's making up all of these lies. And actually, has anyone given him a chance to actually state whether or not these things are true or not? Because I bet you 99% of what has been put to the general public as being a lie is actually true. It's just that they're unexceptional and they can't deal with an exceptional individual. So that's the only thing I want to say there.
I love that. I love that. I love
Big
that.
up.
All right, final thoughts, Isaac?
I just want to say, agree with what Christy was saying. Big up this platform, and I wanted to chime in with like the DEI/EDI conversation that we were having. I don't believe Jason's appointment had anything to or had much to do with DEI or EDI. I think he demonstrated academic prowess and competence to be able to get to that level, because there are plenty of people who are full professors in their own right in academia, in sociology, that he passed their gate, as it were. I think the reason why, and I did have, I don't know if is it Josh? Is that Fighter Spirit? Or, yeah. The reason why I can understand the sentiments that he was expressing is because but what I would say is that it's sort of just a downside of EDI/DEI, that's always going to be the case. That, for example, for myself, if I decide to stay in academia, people might make that argument that I'm only in that position because of DEI or EDI. And yeah, that's fine. You can make that accusation because, I mean, fortunately for me, unfortunately for people like Jason in this instance, when my car gets pulled, you'll find that you can't pull it from me. But I digress. With the necessity for it is that you will find when people are applying for PhDs, for example, let's say out of 100 applicants, you might have up to 10 that are Black, let's say, right? So statistically, you'll find that the people who now get PhDs, who now rise to professorship levels, will disproportionately be non-Black. So if you want to change that, if the institutions, the powers that be have identified that, oh, there isn't a lot of diversity here, or specifically there aren't a lot of Black people here, that's why we now have PhD programs that are specifically for Black people, i.e. You can do your PhD on any topic, but they're only, or they would have all the same academic standards as any other PhD program, but the specific difference will be that they want the person who is applying to be Black or have Black heritage, if that makes sense. Just to make it so that we have the same excellent people in academia, but it's just that they're Black, which is an EDI/DEI initiative, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I did have similar sentiments to Josh and not wanting to apply for those programs when I was initially looking at PhDs, but I did change my stance. That being said, I did get my PhD like the old-fashioned way, but that doesn't make me any more competent than a Black PhD who went through that route, if that makes sense. Like, it's the same standard, it's the same vibe, it's the same process, or very similar that we would have gone through.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Isaac. And Josh, final words? All right. Okay, Price, you said the final words already, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Accidental academic, any final words, please?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, just from the chat, I'm not saying plagiarism is right. So that's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that's what should be doing. But what I'm saying is people don't really appreciate how much work goes into a PhD. And the fact that we're even arguing about this when there's lots of other white academics who are just coasting by on mediocrity is the whole point. The point is we're looking at Jason Arday because, like the other previous caller said, he is a Black person. And there's some of the vitriol I've heard online. Someone said the only reason a lot of people are saying it's because he's a DEI hire. And we also don't even use the term DEI in this country. We use EDI. That shows a lot of this is coming from abroad for a start off.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, someone said, well, the only reason he's got this far is because he's a feminine looking Black man. Like, where's that come from? So if you actually hear the vitriol that people are talking about, and they're really trying to attack the social sciences. That's basically, and they're using that as a catalyst and a starting point. And what people are forgetting, a lot of the EDI hires are white women because they also are underrepresented in academia. So that's, when we're talking about it, it's not just the fact that it's Black people, it's also the fact, or Asians or people of color or what have you. A lot of the EDI hires are white women, as they should be, because
they benefit
we're
the most.
tired of the male pale stale. Let's be honest. That's what academia is. And I know some really great white academics. I know some really great Black academics. And just because you're Black doesn't mean I'm going to root for you. Not all skin folk are kin folk. Do you know what I mean? So it's important that we remember why Jason is being attacked. And I've been the subject of racism myself. I put a tweet on Twitter about a year or so ago, and the amount of racism I received, it was difficult. I had to come offline for a bit. So the amount he would be receiving double that. So the fact that he's resigned isn't necessarily an admission of guilt. It's just that he's got to protect his mental health at the end of the day. So I think it's really important. And I just want to end with, people, please, can we all subtitle our content? for deaf people out there, because a lot of people don't do that. That's just an aside. But while I've got this big platform, I just want to bring that to the fore as well. But you know, there's got to be more of us in academia. There's got to be more of us supporting academia, and it can be a really, really lonely place. So yeah, I'm not saying I agree with what Jason's done or hasn't done. Like I said before, I haven't looked into it too much, but we've got to be careful when we're all coming for him as well, because that's what they want us to do, and that's what I'm going to end with.
Love that. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate you joining the Discord and giving us your expertise.
No problem. And thank you for listening to my dulcet Brummy tones. I am a Brum. I'm not from Black Country. Born and raised in Brum.
Come on.
Thank you.
1, 2, 1. All right, thank you very much, everybody. That's been on the panel. We are going to close out the Discord now. Appreciate you greatly. So that was K Price. I think then it was, who was next?
Black Rob, Isaac,
Andrew, Accidental,
Josh.
Yes, Josh, and
that's everybody.
Dr. Cheryl.
Dr. Cheryl. Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. All right, cool. So, any final words? We hear a lot from you. Obviously, the question in the title of this video still needs answering, as Maggie so wonderfully pointed out. Let me just see that. Here we go.
Sorry. Okay, Maggie says, have we answered the question in the episode title? Are we supporting Professor Arday? Arday, Maggie.
Don't do that. It's crazy. This is what you said your energy for.
No, Maggie's my sister. She understands. You understand?
Good.
But you understand? What do you call it? 100. Well, me personally, are we supporting them? 100%.
Yep.
You guys should have known that anyway. You know what I'm saying? I've supported West. You know what I'm saying?
It's 100%. Yeah,
You understand?
It's very
you understand? The criteria is black. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to 100% support you. 100%. I don't want to hear no nonsense coming from nobody outside of our community. You know what I'm saying? That's my stance on nearly everything. Pretty much everything, right? However, I do feel like the only thing I would kind of disagree with is I don't see how Cambridge should take the blame, if I'm being honest. Because we laud Cambridge. Huh? Because Cambridge stepped out first and defended him. So if they wanted to throw him under the bus, this would have been an easy opportunity to do so. If all the allegations and all
they're defending
noise,
them initially.
Who's them?
They're defending themselves. I don't think it was because.
I think regardless.
Yeah, but you're saying they shouldn't. He didn't plagiarize. They hired him, no? 100%. He didn't hire himself.
Of course.
He didn't appoint himself in that position.
What does that mean?
So why shouldn't scrutiny be on them and what they have done? Because I believe they should all scrutinize. If they're doing this scrutiny for him, scrutinize everybody that's been in through Cambridge. No, let's just scrutinize it.
No, 100% they should scrutinize. But what I'm saying is, they opened the door to Professor Arday. Yeah, they came in, they did their due diligence, and they said he's good enough to be here. In fact, he's going to have the accolade as the youngest black professor in history. Right? Cambridge is the best university in the world. Right? And then we clap for every black person that goes to Cambridge because we understand the level of that institution. And then at the same time, we talk about, these institutions, Oxbridge and the Russell Group ones, a lot of them are racist. They showed this, that, and the third. They've let him in. Unless you're going to say to me they did this as a trap for him, I don't think they deserve the blame. That's me personally. We can't have it both ways. You can't say to yourself, Cambridge is the best university in the world. We need more representation there. They've opened up the doors for people like us who have the qualifications. I'm not saying DEI. He's got the qualifications. Yeah, but he did what it takes. He got in and then blamed them for him lying, potentially. Come on, man. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We have to be fair. We have to be fair. So to me, my thing is, if we're going to give them applause, right, for increasing the amount of black people that come in, for doing the Stormzy initiative, for doing them things there, let's show the same energy and say, okay, cool, they were duped too. If it is that he duped people, that's the only position I disagree with with everybody on. That's my thing. Don't blame Cambridge. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Everything else though, I'm with Professor Arday. Professor Arday, if you listen, come on the show. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you a platform. We're nice to all black folk. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. So, yeah, and we've had worse.
All right.
You guys take?
Okay, hold up. Maggie, if you could just jump on for a couple of minutes, obviously, because we love you on that. You're my favorite sister. She wants to say a couple things. So just open up the Discord again.
Come on.
Yeah. What were you saying? Morning, Maggie. What were you saying?
Morning, everyone.
Come on.
Morning.
Morning. Sorry, I just want only because I made a comment about the Cambridge thing in the chat as well.
Okay.
Man was discussing. I think where I say that Cambridge or the universities are at fault is because normally when you're putting someone into like a high profile position, so where you kind of recruited someone and you want to make it like almost like a public story, part of like your PR, it's going to be in like brochures, all of that on the website. There's a level of like due diligence that would have taken place by the risk team, by internal risk, by public relations, all of that. That's where I think that they failed, because you do that risk assessment not only to protect your organization's reputational risk, but also to protect the individual as well. So basically, if there is anything that may come out later or things that can't be founded, that's can't be substantiated, that's why you do that kind of like due diligence and risk assessment. That's where I think Cambridge kind of like skipped that. And it's kind of similar to the recent like political situation with Keir Starmer and who was it that they recruited into the US ambassador role?
Yeah, Mandelson.
In terms that Keir wanted that Mandelson in that position, and because of that they kind of bypassed like certain things. That was the thing that I would say that Cambridge is at fault there. They saw this as a great opportunity. This is going to be a great story. They're going to benefit from this a lot. They pushed it to the forefront, and I think they dropped the ball in protecting their own reputational risk and also protecting Professor Arday.
I hear what you're saying, but I think overall I have to disagree. In a parallel universe, if you married one gentleman, yeah, he's doing these amazing theses. You met him as somebody with a bachelor's. He done his master's, amazing dates, marriage, kids. He's doing his theses. You ain't overlooking his work. He's in the study, doing his thing. Cool. Cambridge approaches him. You're amazing. Interview, second interview, third interview. Gets in. Youngest black professor of all time. Then you find out he's lied about certain things. Are you really going to blame Cambridge in your house? Or are you going to blame him for making a fool of you?
Two things can be true. So like I said, like this wasn't just a regular recruitment. They actively promoted this person as like, the first black professor at Cambridge. I'm saying even to protect their own reputational risk, they should have done a bit more due diligence. That's all I'm saying.
I hear that. But
in terms of, and so for me, I think they benefited it from it because obviously this was great PR for them. But also now they are facing the consequences of those decisions that they made. So I would say quite a few different parties kind of like should hold a responsibility for what's gone on here as well.
I hear what you're saying. I do. But I just want a clear answer on, if this was your household, are you blaming Cambridge for hiring this man? Or are you thinking to yourself, why did my husband lie and copy work? That's all I'm asking.
I think it's a different situation. I think a better situation would be, I run my own like small business. Shout out to me.
Come on.
Put in a Discourse so we can patronize, man.
Come on.
Don't be shy.
Thank you, I will do. If I was going to put someone, say for instance, I was going to do a partnership with, with Christy, as the face of my business and stuff like that. And then later there were issues around like some like Christy's views and stuff like that didn't align with my brand, then I have to take some like responsibility that, I didn't do my correct due diligence as well, whether Christy embellished, lied or whatever, which she doesn't. So yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but I painted it in that way because I wanted it to be identical. I didn't give you another analogy. I'm saying the same thing that Arday did, but you know Arday. Are you really going to blame? You don't have to answer, right? Because I know you're not going to. My thing is this. To me, I just feel like we have to take some accountability to. Well, we didn't do anything. Arday did, right? Allegedly. But my thing is, I really don't see how we have to blame Cambridge. Did they want to take advantage of the particular amazing story? Yes. But who told them the story? You see what I'm saying?
I don't think it's just Cambridge. It's the other institution that peer reviewed his thing as
but
well.
that-
Why are they not getting?
No.
They got flying under the radar.
The reason why is because they're still standing on what they believe, which is that he didn't plagiarize. Remember, we haven't made a decision in this room, because remember, Isaac is saying something. The others are.
But he's going to present the information.
Thank you very much.
And I believe he will.
Thank you very much.
I believe he will.
So the reason I'm saying that is because it's still a back and forth. Do you get what I'm saying? So, what they call it, John Moore's University, they're still saying, yo, we done our due diligence. He deserved this PhD. Do you get what I'm saying? He's done it. Cool. But again, my thing is, on all the other stuff, I really don't understand why Cambridge has to come into this as blame. Because we can't have it both ways. If they're opening the door for more black people in, right, then applaud them for it. You know what I'm saying? Just so happens that somebody's coming that maybe shouldn't have been there. Again, happens with white people, happens with Asians too. It just so happens that in this situation, a black man was caught. But you're going to blame them? Then should they start closing the doors now?
So taking it purely into a business perspective, I work in risk, I work with PR, I work with different brands. And honestly, if this was one of the organizations that I worked with, there would be a review over the internal risk team, over the PR team. We would have to basically explain why we are in this situation. So yes, we would have to hold ourselves accountable. And me saying that the universities or the institutions I'm not saying they're solely at fault. I'm saying that everybody has a little kind of like piece of the blame. What's happening in this situation? Obviously, Professor Arday is the one, he's the public facing person, so he's getting majority of it. But I'm just saying that I wouldn't solely put it on him. If that, I'm telling you now, that in Cambridge is having internal meetings in terms of like, who dropped the ball? How did we get here? Because this is a big PR disaster for them.
100%. Yeah, but I don't think they should be blamed. Maybe you're thinking of where I'm talking about, where the blame should go. They should blame themselves for certain things. But in terms of blaming what's happening to Arday and everything else, not at all. Not in the slightest to me.
Yeah, I think that was a little why I was getting confused a bit, because you are not saying that you don't see why they're getting caught. You can identify why they're getting caught, but it shouldn't be that we now are saying, as in blacks, say, hey, Cambridge is to blame.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How? You know what I'm saying?
We should be backing them.
I'm not saying the blacks should be going after Cambridge either. So just to be clear.
All right, thank you.
All right, so you're saying the first thing, as in, I understand that's why Cambridge is getting caught. I understand why they're scrambling right now, and I think
still amongst themselves though.
Yeah, but what's and the rest of the whites of it, and I believe that some heads are gonna roll.
Maybe
if they come up with some sort of at the end of the investigation, they're gonna probably get rid of a couple heads and then say they're responsible, because the institution as Cambridge cannot be held in this particular dirty light for long.
Yeah. It is a damn shame, to be fair. It's a damn shame. I personally wish that he didn't, but again, I'm not in his position. He has to protect his family, man. He's got kids. But I wish he didn't step down, because Cambridge ain't fired him. They're still doing their investigation. The man ain't guilty as far as I'm concerned.
You're saying, how do you know behind the scenes they weren't pushing?
It might be the case, but just based on what we're seeing now, with Cambridge still, doing their investigation and things of that nature, he has chosen to step down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they also changed their position as well.
But if that's the case, then that means we're also saying that Cambridge is giving him an opportunity to resign rather than sack him, which is even a good thing for him. Do you get what I'm saying? So, we can't be... This is what I'm talking about, the blame thing.
Interesting to find out what those conversations were.
Exactly.
It could have been, wild.
It could have been.
And I think this is a great point to now share my thoughts very briefly, right? So, I don't care that he lied. For the memoirs. Okay. I mean, I even applauded. They were good lies. Great. And the thing is, I don't even like the fact that it is that I'm even calling it lies because of how, as Andrew said, exceptional they were. It's only because of one particular clip where he had said that he had been part of some program.
Yes.
That he wasn't born.
Yeah.
I guess that could easily happen.
I have a reason for that, though. I think I said it the other time. I think sometimes when you say the word program, it could be a program where something's happening.
Yeah.
Or it could be a program on TV.
Yeah.
I think they potentially conflated it.
Okay.
This is how I would have defended him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would say,
Yeah.
no, he's saying the program was named after the TV program.
Yeah.
It's the program that we did in our community.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. And the litany of claims that were made in his book, his memoirs, right? Like a few of them, again, maybe because it sounds like only a miracle could have done this, but it's how it was framed by himself.
Yeah.
That's what had me believe, all right, cool. You like this, you run it with it, right? Now, obviously, the man in the van with the cap and that, right?
Yeah.
I believe him. I believe I believe that he was singing the songs and this and that. I actually believe him, right? But I don't know if it's that speaks to him not being able to write or read. He can sing a song and this, that, and the next.
Yeah.
That don't mean anything. But he did claim he was mute.
Yeah, he did.
Up until a particular time.
11, yeah.
Do you understand? So I don't care that he's lied. Do you understand? And especially when I'm now seeing racists pile on in such a manner, I'm backing Arday in that particular sense.
100%.
What I don't like, however, if it is proven that he has lied, not only with the memoirs but also with the plagiarism, because this is what caused all this madness, is he's turned around and he's asked his brethren, right, in that particular field of influence to back him, right? And if they've now gone out and alleged to back him, and they're now turning around to find out that he's lied, I don't like that now.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because what would their stance be?
Yeah.
How would they move? Do you understand? That's the only thing that I have thoughts on regarding that.
Yeah.
But I'm backing Arday until it is that Isaac shows the evidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, sorry, what's his name? K Price. I don't think enough conversation is around the fact that he is neurodivergent. I think that also plays a part because of there's certain characteristics that I'm trying to be careful because I know, because I've got a neurodivergent son, I know how certain things can come across. So I feel like that's also not being taken into consideration for him to get to the levels that he got to. And again, whether the support or what, we had Nimi here, where there's certain things, how he processes things, how he has to change the way he actually takes in the information, all that kind of stuff. I think that also needs to be in consideration here. And that is being pushed aside for some reason or another, because he said he didn't speak, and now that's now being questioned. The way things show up in neuro is very different. It's just, you can't, there's so many things that go into it. So I feel like that definitely needs to be considered as well. And people are not.
I also feel as though there are a litany of unqualified men doing jobs.
Yeah, facts.
Like in a particular position. And hearing him speak, like he speaks well. And I think, regardless of him having qualifications or not, if he's able, in certain, obviously, forums, to bring positivity and make a better individual off the back of them hearing him, brother, 100%, you're a professor. You understand? Inspired those students.
Yeah.
Yes, and motivate those students.
Yeah.
You understand? I love all of that because I'm a fan of that fella you hate.
Yeah. Oh, Terrence Howard.
You understand? He's not qualified.
At all.
He's not qualified.
Not Mirad's questioning if he's got the condition either. See, this is what I mean.
What do you mean?
I can't lie. Sorry, but Mirad can never be in my camp. He's not for me. He can never be in my camp.
No, I hear your point, but two things can be true, right? That point, 100%, underlined, right? Emphasized. But I don't know if it is. I've seen anyone come out to say, yes, he's got the isms and stuff.
With all this stuff, do you not think... So you're telling me,
no.
with all this
You
stuff
told us
now...
not to listen to that guy in the car.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not... You didn't even let me finish.
Sorry, babe. It's good.
I'm saying... I'm sure there would have been someone to now refute that he's not now. He's not neurodivergent.
Them time.
At all. At all.
Give them time, because we didn't know the stuff in the memoirs. We didn't know he made those claims
Okay.
until
Alright.
people came attack.
So now that's it.
We
Now,
didn't hear the man
now,
in the
him
van
being,
until-
now him being neurodiverse is now called into question. See, that's what I'm saying. Anyway.
You have to keep the same energy though, Christy, man. You have to keep the same energy. We're just like hearing people and just making up our minds based on our biases, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what.
So lying about that now.
Well,
okay.
We don't know. We don't know.
Crazy.
But if I'm cool with everybody and their friends saying they got ADHD, I'm alright with him saying that he's got something. I'm alright.
Right.
Especially if it is like he was in the coma and he said, wait.
Anyway, I stand with Professor Arday. Anyway, my stance was never going to change. And I was always going to.
TDA does.
I stand
This
with
platform
that way.
does and will continue to.
I couldn't give a heck where.
Biggest thing I'm interested in is that evidence from Isaac, because this is a big claim he's made. You understand? And he's gone against the another esteemed, not just that, but also our resident professor, King's Monologue. You understand? So show your workings out, man. Show your workings out, because I was sensing a little jabs in your.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah,
There's plenty of that.
yeah, there was enough for me to be like, hey, man, should have locked him up. This is very. So I'm looking forward to seeing that in Discord.
Yeah.
I want to see what this plagiarism looks like.
And I do hope it's clear. I hope it's as clear as what Isaac was saying.
I do believe that he believes it's very, very clear.
Yeah.
So I want to know if it is that belief is founded in fact.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm also giving Andrew the benefit of the doubt.
Come on.
100%. All right, thank you very much, Maggie. What a blessing to have you sign off our show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you.
too.
You too. Don't forget to put your business in the Discord as well, yeah?
Yeah, and just before I go, I just wanted to make it clear that I would love to have Christy as the face of any brand or any business that I am supported or worked for. So I just want to make that
Maggie,
clear.
I know sis.
Yeah, we believed you when you said it.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why we
You
didn't
have
say
to cite your sources.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
See ya.
I know
Have a
Murad
good
would
one.
never.
Oh my goodness.
Retweet. All right, cool. All right, you're welcome, everybody. It's been a long one. We need to basically get on with the rest of our day.
Yeah, man.
We're going to be in tomorrow at 8:15, unless it is that you hear anything from us in Discord. Everybody, make sure when Isaac drops the facts in the Discord, make sure I will tag everyone just in case. You understand? I don't want it to be like in the middle of the night and you're not slipping in, slipping out like that. So yeah, thank you everybody, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
8:15.
Peace.
Later.